Trash to Cash podcast, episode 186. Does that sound right, Carrie?
Yeah,
Sure.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Who's counting at this point? It's been too long.
Kevin.
85. No? 80?
We had the audio pretty bad last week as far as volume levels, so let's just do a quick, check up in the beginning. Are me and Carrie similar levels? So hi. Carrie, you go.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
They sound pretty good to me. Pretty good to me.
Sound pretty good, which means we're both very loud and you're very quiet. So maybe, what's your little knobby at on your focus, right?
I
Like,
don't know.
it straight?
Straight up?
Look at your camera.
Yeah.
This little knob on the right, how far to the right is that little white line?
Past the middle.
Interesting. So it must be okay, wait. Start talking for a minute.
Okay.
How you doing?
How are
Not
you doing?
you, Carrie.
Oh.
Yeah, Kevin.
I hate Carrie.
Yeah, you're good now.
Carrie
You're good. No.
is a pain
Okay,
in the butt.
we're good. I think we're good.
What?
I think we're all
That was
nice and loud.
rude.
Okay,
Terrible
so
person.
Trash to Cash 1 minute in podcast.
Yeah.
We're
We're bringing the
reselling
heat
podcast
today.
World's
the
best
heat.
reselling podcast.
World's
here.
best.
We
Allegedly.
Well,
We have
let's
to
start
say
with
that
talking about
legally.
Epic Universe over in Orlando. Let's start there.
Okay.
Carrie, I figured out there is a way we can go.
How?
Okay. They're selling tickets right now for pass holders, and they're only like
I'm not a pass
$120. The tickets are only like $120, and they have them all the way through like May 15th before the park actually opens.
How
They're
many
all,
tickets can you get, though?
I can get one.
I'm not a pass holder at Universal.
You could become a pass holder. It's pretty easy. Just go on the
That
internet.
sounds like
Bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop,
super,
bleep, bloop.
super complicated.
The problem, it's not complicated. What it would mean is that you're having to buy a pass, a season pass for Universal, and then also the one-day ticket. So you're talking some decent money is the only problem.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I've been doing a lot of Dibdit lately. I probably can handle it.
Yeah, dude, all those $40 shows, you're going to be rich.
$40. Stack those up, guys. It's called compound interest. I don't want to do a finance class right here, but I will.
I did a Tiquity show today, and
I know, with Dawn.
I did
Dawn
not
did
have
well.
much Tiquity stuff. I'm glad Dawn
You
did well.
didn't.
I was like, I'll join you, Dawn, but I don't have much.
Dave, you need to center your face in this video. You're just way too low. Your face is down here.
It's because I just
Yeah,
moved
there's-
the camera to show you the mic.
I feel like the camera is focusing on the death monkey, the one that's going to kill
I'm
us at any
excited
moment.
Gotcha.
about this episode because I can prove Carrie wrong and the PPP guys right. So I left my store open. I went out of town. I went to Nashville, and my store collapsed for 2 days, and then came back today. I'm back now. And
Did
the
you have your
sales
phone
have
on
come
you?
Back up. Yes, my phone was on.
Did you put it on the right megahertz and everything when you were gone? Because you have to have it on the right
It's true
frequency.
though. I'm telling you, I had the day I was gone the whole day, $77 in sales after 400, 500, 600. It's like 77. So you owe an apology to those boys, Carrie.
No, that's what they call in the business circumstantial evidence. That's
No,
not that is causation without representation. I don't know what the truth is, but we need
Correlation isn't causation. That's
yeah,
what
whatever,
that is,
dude.
Carrie.
We need 5 to
the Third
20,000 people having that happen before we can see. This is called scientific study or something. I don't know.
Okay, so back to Epic Universe. That reselling part was pretty. No, actually, you probably could resell things at Epic Universe that they have that are like exclusive to there right now. That's how you pay
Yeah,
for
I
your
mean,
ticket,
probably.
Carrie. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, okay,
if you want to
point
go, we
being-
can.
Point
I
being,
want to go.
I'm gonna go before this. I don't even know if I can convince my wife and kids. Although they want to go, they've got to like finish out the school year because they do the homeschooling and they have to get it all done by like May 15th. Tina's like, I don't think they can go. They have testing and all this other stuff. I said, well, I'm going. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna record a video and I'm gonna try this because right now it's not that crowded. And so I'm gonna find a day and I'm gonna go. And so the question just is, are you wanting to go? And if so, we got to figure
he
out how to
doesn't
get you a
wanna go.
ticket.
He needs to do some work. He doesn't need to go.
No, he doesn't. No, I am here to tell you, Kevin, that as long as we have you to be our sugar daddy, we don't need to do work.
Yeah.
You just keep
I just
siphoning
figure
off
out how many
50% of that
Dibdit
YouTube
fees.
revenue.
I figure out how many Dibdit fees are coming in for a day, and that's my budget.
Yeah, seven today, $7.
7. Yes. Taco Bell for me.
Yay.
Don's gonna have to figure something out.
Well, Rod just messaged us and said he had a great Dibdit show. Thanks for the raid. I don't really think the raid is why he had a great show.
No.
I think he had a
I
great show
think
because he
so.
sold great items.
I think it's because he has just
Crazy
such a
thing.
magnetic personality.
I think
Magnetic.
it's well, he's okay. So he's got the baseline of a good number of followers on there. Plus, he was
Yeah.
selling great eBay level items.
Yeah.
And the
Which
dude
I
made
couldn't
thousands
win.
of dollars. So he did
Yeah.
great.
I did get
And-
one good deal from him. I got like 80, 90 minimum dollar shirt. I got it for 31. That was pretty
Okay.
good.
Well, Kevin, I had to do home decor. I had like 6 items, so I'm like
It was
hunting
so
around.
pathetic what you were bringing.
I didn't have. She wanted me to go on. I wasn't planning on doing a Tickety show. I had just done a dib dip, but I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go on there. I'll help her, and then we'll get the
I
audience to make
personally
her less
like
stressed.
Dawn by herself. I don't even
I do
like
too.
Carrie to
I
be
do too.
there. I
No,
think
yeah, he's
Dawn-
annoying in the background.
just,
Yeah, just leave it to be Dawn.
Just be quiet.
Actually,
Just
you
Dawn,
could just
Dawn's going to be
move out.
quiet the whole time if I don't say something. She will just be silent.
If you could just move out to the pop-up, actually, Carrie, that would probably be best for everyone involved.
The
little
pop-up?
pop-up camper out there, yeah.
Oh,
in your front
yeah.
yard, yeah.
Can I get in that?
I could give you the keys. You can
Okay.
hop in there. No, okay,
Nice.
listen. So I was like, oh, I don't have much home stuff. Let me sell this Alexa.
He was selling Tickwitties.
Bro, I sold an Alexa 15-inch, like,
I hope Tim bans you. For that.
Echo. Why? It's a home good.
I know it's
home
fine.
good
It's
shop.
fine. It's a home good.
Dude, did you see what it sold for, Kevin?
Yeah.
Sold
Cheap.
for $35.
Well, you did a terrible job with it. They didn't know what it was worth. You
I
gotta
know,
tell
I
people,
know.
hey, this is
Yeah,
no,
you
I
did tell
don't
them
carry this.
profusely what it was worth after you sold it, which is
Well,
the
I
wrong
told
way to do that.
Carrie that. No, I told Carrie that. I said I actually don't mind selling something for super low, but I will let people know they got a great deal. Like after it's sold, like yeah, you did a good
yeah,
job.
but
Like
then
you're
if
gonna
you
make a
don't
lot of
say
money.
you got a great deal, then people are like, oh, he didn't say I got a great deal. on
I don't
that one.
always
I must
know.
do."
I don't always know. I don't comp
Have
everything.
you seen? Yeah, have you seen him pick? He just is
No,
just
I just
picking
grab the
stuff
stuff
up and
that's
put
good
it in
and
it,
I put it in
putting
there.
it in a
like-
bag or a
Yeah.
tote.
But
Speaking
if
of
I
good,
know
though,
specifically, if I know I could have put that on eBay for $170, I'm gonna be like, yo, that was a really good buy.
Yeah.
I've decided that I'm moving. We're
Okay.
better picking.
Okay.
I'm moving to Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, you're moving to
really?
Nashville, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Well, it's farther away from you guys for one, and there was tremendous. I couldn't believe it. I had
They're
my
spiking
spiking
not farther.
people's. They're spiking people's drinks at the bars there.
Why are
on
you
Broadway.
saying that's farther? It's the same.
It's the same distance from
Nashville's
you guys.
the same, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm moving to Montana.
As Lynchburg. Yeah,
Well, you
that'd be
got
good.
you
That'd
got
be fun.
Cam Ward there. He's the new quarterback.
Oh
for
my
the
gosh,
Titans.
Carrie! Holy crap! I have gone down this rabbit hole of draft picks, getting phone calls. I
Oh,
have
yeah?
probably seen every single draft pick reaction.
Nice.
That is from
Whose
the
was
whole
your
draft.
favorite, and which one did you dislike?
A guy with alopecia was my favorite. I don't know his
Oh
name.
yeah,
That was really sweet.
Landon
yeah, that was a
Jackson?
very sweet response. Did you see that one?
What did they mention? He had alopecia or something?
No, it
like
was
that?
a video of him, and you can see he has no eyebrows, no hair. He's like 20.
Why is that
He's-
sweet? He's just a guy getting a phone
It's
call.
sweet
Why
because
did-
he's crying, and he's so
Oh.
happy, and he's
Good,
hugging his
yeah.
family.
Well,
It's
he's a good
sweet.
football player. He should get picked.
Yeah, it was really
What does
sweet. I love-
alopecia have to do with it?
Yeah,
I was
Dave.
so you because I didn't know his name, and you probably could figure out who it is if I say the guy.
Landon
with alopecia.
Jackson? Yeah, I knew who
See?
it was.
So
That's
why
how
do you know he has
identify your
alopecia?
friends?
That's a, yeah. Fair enough.
What did you say,
Fair
Kevin?
enough.
Is that how you identify your reselling friends?
No,
Like,
but can you guys
pick the
tell me
worst
about this?
characteristic and then,
Yeah, how do you
that
tell
they can't
people?
be
You
done?
say-
Shador-
Do you guys
Shador
say I'm the
Sanders.
hot
What
one
is
when you're
this?
trying to describe who I
Say
am? The hot
that
one?
picker with the funny haircut, and it's
I want someone to explain
That would be
Shador
rough.
Sanders to me because I'm seeing a lot of content about him being drafted late, and I understand none of it.
Oh, yeah. So
Why
Shador
is he getting
Sanders,
drafted late? Why is
do you know
that
who
bad?
Deion Sanders is? Do you know who Deion
Yeah,
Sanders
he's
is?
the famous football player
time.
from
Yeah,
NFL
they-
Blitz.
yeah, that's his dad.
Okay, is he good?
Shador Sanders or Deion?
yeah, Shador.
Yes.
Great.
I'll give you my
No.
take on it. I don't know if it's the right take.
Yeah, I
but
want
I'll
your
give you
take. I
my
want your take.
on it. My take on it is he has discernible skills that are pretty darn good. However, next year's quarterback class it looks like is going to be significantly
Gotta
better,
clean
just
this.
like last year's was better than this year's. And I think some teams know that. And so to bring in the drama that goes around with it might be disruptive to a clubhouse to the point where you may end up making a decision the very next year. I think the best thing that could
Why
happen
does
to
he
him-
bring drama though? Is it because his dad and him have a bad relationship or something?
Yeah, and I'm not talking negatively about either one of them, but
I
they
just
want to
know. I don't know
life.
anything.
to me, you're trying to build your team and your brand as a team, and I think they would like to be bigger than that. And it's worked before. I mean, Deion was like that, and it
It's
worked,
simple.
and he played on
It's
good
simple.
teams. All right,
Kevin's
Carrie.
explanation made no sense and was dumb. No offense.
Yeah, I'm very
So
confused.
don't take any offense to that, Kevin.
I
That
don't.
made no sense at all. What happened is, like back in high school, the guy who could talk trash, but like you couldn't talk back to him because he could beat you up. You know that guy,
Kevin,
like
yeah,
the Kevins of high school.
Yeah.
Like he talk like he comes into these interviews saying, I'm basically going to run the show. His dad's very over the top and wants to be probably involved to some extent, and he's not good enough to back that up, if that makes sense. Like they don't want to deal with the drama because he's very good, but he's not quite good enough for them to want to deal with that drama. At least
I
as
saw
at
stuff
like
about him like signing stuff, like signing people's rings and stuff.
yeah. I think he's a
Already,
nice
he's not
guy.
even
He's actually a
signed?
very nice kid
Well, it
and
sounded
everything. He's
cocky
just
to me.
very
It sounded cocky.
He's cocky. There's a difference though. Like he's not like a bad dude. He's just cocky, and I think at a certain level you need chemistry with teams. Like you need Kevin. What are you popping there?
Well, wait, Carrie, let's bring it to reselling, though, okay? So I'm sure you've had this guy's cards because he was in college ball, right?
I've had. He doesn't have a ton, but yes, I've had some.
So has his value gone up or down since this
I would say
draft
his
thing happened?
That's a good point. I would guess I don't have any of his stuff, but I would guess it went down a little bit.
Because he was picked so late.
Here's the thing, like as
Although-
little as a week ago, they were saying he might get picked like number 3 overall, number 5, number 10, and he went in the 5th round, which is 140 something, right?
Yeah. And
140
does it happen over multiple days?
It does. There's 3 days of, and I was just joking about that. Your take was dumb, Kevin.
No,
I apologize.
I'm
I feel
just thinking
guilty
as a
now.
coach, you want the identity of the team, and you want the person who is the leader of that team, which would be the quarterback. You want them to make everybody better. And I'm not saying he doesn't have that ability. He might very well have that ability. But you don't want him to overshadow it. And I think that the whole...
Very few
everything
people
goes
could
with it
pull that off.
overshadows.
Like you'd have to be so good, and you'd have to mesh with people so well for that. I think to work. That
Joe
kind of
Namath.
attitude.
Joe Burrow, you've got guys with that really flash, you've got that kind of, it's better in my opinion to have that out of your wide receivers than it is to have it out of your quarterback.
I will say some of
my
the
take
guys who got the calls about how they got picked by a team seemed like upset by the team that picked them, or like,
Oh yeah.
Who is the quarterback
and
of
I was like,
this team?
I thought of like this like parallel. It would be like us calling up, I don't know, someone who really wants to be part of Dibdit and saying, "Hey, you're in, but you're in Dibdit Sports Supply." Sorry.
You better start selling some golf club covers because that's the easiest thing to ship in sports supply. Gloves, batting gloves. You don't want to. I mean, you got to bring the heat to make it with golf clubs and bats. There, you got to have nothing but those. What are those 1990s bats
Dude,
that
the
you used to
problem
use, Kevin, to inflate your numbers? Those like
90s
metal
bats?
bats.
Wiffle ball bats?
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? The metal bats that
The
were.
Marucci's were hot. They were hot. Even I
I
could
would-
go deep in batting practice with those.
I would
but
love to
couldn't
sell
get it out
all
of
the
park.
time on there, but I've hit such a dry spell with golf clubs. Like I do not ever see them
I did
anymore.
a show over there and it did pretty good.
I blame
was happy with it.
Stacked Golf. I blame him. I think he's like got
Blame
so
him?
many people out there hunting for clubs that like we're just never finding them anymore.
Just we're blaming creators now for
Yeah.
for
They're
ruining-
They are
ruining
ruining
reselling.
reselling. Yeah.
Totally.
Hey, speaking of, I really thought I had such low hopes of Nashville because I'm like, oh, well, there's 200 out of town pickers in Nashville. This is going to be a tough day. It was amazing. I heard so many great stories from people. And
Really?
we
What'd
had
you
a
find?
good day too. We went with these. They don't watch this show anyway, so I can say it. We went with a couple of ladies. Me and Mike went with Angie Resells, and went
Big
with
fan of her.
The Rural Squirrel.
Love her.
And
Great.
let me tell you what, I I'm the low baller, right? Which is ridiculous. When
You
I
are.
went with these three, I was blushing at these offers. I was like, what's going? They're hardcore.
Did you
And
name
they're-
3 people or 2?
3. Mike.
He named him. Oh, yeah, he doesn't name
Mike,
Mike.
Mike,
Mike
okay,
is he who shall
I don't
not
think
be
you.
named.
I don't think you named Mike.
And they're
but
like
yeah.
one-upping each other. I make this big pile at a like a daycare fundraiser, and it was make an offer, right? And so I'm talking to the camera, and I'm just like, y'all drop, as I'm collecting it, how much would you pay for this? How much would you pay for this? And I had a number in my head, and I set it all there, and I said, come on over, you guys, tell me what you would pay for this pile. And they were $80 under the number I had in my head. $80. And so I'm like, maybe I'm paying too much for this pile.
Yeah, it's because you get the Commonwealth
And
tax.
so I offered him 50, which was half of what I thought I was going to offer them.
Wait, I got to do the math. So that was 80 under what you would have offered. You offered 50, which was 50
So
less.
they wanted to give negative
They wanted
30.
to get.
They wanted
I
to
was
offer
gonna
negative
give-
30.
Let me brush up on quantum physics here. What dimension were you making this offer in?
I was going to offer 100.
Okay.
And
They were going to offer 20.
And one of them said 10, and then they're like, wait a minute, I don't know, maybe that's a little low. And I said, that box right there is worth 300. And they're
What
like,
was in
"All
that
right."
box right there?
What was in the box?
It's a
Kev?
weird one. It was a box.
What's in
full
the
of-
box?
You know the red cups you see at pizza places? That
Yeah,
say
Solo
Coca-Cola
cups,
on it?
yeah.
No, not Solo cups. The heavy plastic ones, these were vintage, but they were vintage RC Cola. And they were all new old stock, and they were in a box, and there was tons of them. And I'm like, they'll sell 4 at a time for, or 5 at a time for like $20 a piece, or $20 in a lot. But there was tons of these lots.
Well, you are. Really?
What?
They're going to
What?
sell? I think you could sell them, but like,
They're
could a
gonna
regu-
list. They're gonna list.
You're going to
Anybody
list
can
them for that much.
$20 a piece. Oh no, they'll
Here's the
sell
cool
for
thing,
that.
Carrie. He's going to be urinating in them.
That's
the
$4
value.
a
Oh,
cup.
yeah.
Each one will have a little Commonwealth.
Yeah,
pee-pee.
little common piss picker right there. I love it.
Wow.
They'll sell
Carrie.
for $4.
Well,
a
you just
cup.
said
There
urinate.
were
I can't say piss.
75 cups.
I don't know.
It
I
doesn't
feel
mean
like
any-
pee-pee is a little less offensive. I don't know.
Is piss really offensive to people?
I don't
It's
know.
just
You're the
everybody
Mormon.
pees.
You tell me.
No, I never.
Would you have
grew
said
up-
it as a Mormon? Would you have said that as a Mormon?
I wouldn't be on this podcast.
I'm just saying, like, what would Joseph think?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, did they even use that word back in the 1800s? I don't know.
WW.
I don't know.
JD.
JD. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
oh, that
same
would
thing
work
as
for Joseph too. Yeah.
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 I like that. So, any rate, I'm gonna tell this story before.
He'd
Mike
be upset
gets
I don't
to
have
tell it.
more wives. I think he would be upset about that if we're being honest.
Death Pile Picker of the reseller locker room. That one.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Okay,
my
go ahead.
favorite part of the whole Nashville thing from afar was Ken's new photo, the new headshot.
Oh, did he do the autograph thing again? No.
Exactly.
I love
I
it.
love it. That's
This
so
is
great.
the best one ever. It
It's
will
so
be.
awesome.
Ken, please send me one. I will pay.
I
I
will
should have
also
asked
pay
for
for
two.
that.
I should have asked.
I
for
had the
two.
other one next to me in Tina's bed for like 6 months. Eventually, it got too
I want
used
a
up and
wall.
we had to throw it
I want
away.
my whole back
that
wall
one.
to be different SSK promos, and I want I
how
want people
cool
to
is
ask
that?
about it, and I never want to tell them. I want them to either know who SKK promo is,
I
or
should've
just
had him
assume
do
I'm
more.
just a big fan of a like I don't know, a lounge singer. What does he look like? He
Yeah.
looks like he's
That's killer.
a
He
lounge
looks like a
singer
lounge
on,
singer, yeah.
on like Broadway or
If
something.
you're listening, you have to come over and look on YouTube.
I love that jacket though. That's a good look for him.
Isn't that nice?
Seriously, I think he should rebrand as
I should've asked
unemployed
for
for a
three
living
more.
part-time
Cowboy
model.
Picker. Cowboy Picker.
One we could
Is there a
have
Cowboy
auctioned
Picker?
off for cheer.
Is there a cowboy picker? Did somebody have YouTube
There's
in
a
front of them? I'll
redneck
look.
picker. Carrie tells me about.
Yes,
him
I
every
love
2
redneck
weeks.
picker. I talk about him all the time. You guys.
Is
I'm
there a
gonna look up
bearded
cowboy picker.
limoncello in the house? A bearded
There was a lot
limoncello?
of beards in Nashville. Lots of beards.
Any mustaches? Those are coming back.
Picking.
remember.
Carrie, did you do any picking this week? At all?
I went to a card shop.
No. Went to the card shop.
Look
That's
at
right.
Cowboy
Carrie
Picker.
scammed me a little with this autograph thing. Like, you know,
I
if
didn't
you ever
scam
wanna,
you,
like,
dude.
just
I
feel-
went out of my
if you
way
wanna-
for you.
Hold on, let me finish
didn't
this.
scam
if
you.
ever,
Shut up.
Let me finish this. If you ever want to feel unappreciated and annoyed, just try to do something for Dave, and he'll find a way to make you feel bad for doing something for him.
No, let me tell you what happened. You gave me an inconclusive Miley Cyrus autograph, as I should have
That
expected from you, Dave.
guaranteed me was real.
I didn't.
Like
Well, I
10
thought it was
times.
real. I thought it was real, but I'm not an expert on Miley
So
Cyrus
you got to
autographs.
grade it, or you got somebody to verify it, and they're like, "Nope."
Yeah, I went to JSA,
Well-
which was at the shop. I got your Armin Shimmerman autograph, which you weren't thankful for, authenticated. You're welcome.
Well, listen. To
You
be
didn't
fair,
even want that authenticated, although
Carrie
you gave it
pitched
to me
this-
to authenticate.
Carrie pitched this as, hey, I can get a deal because I'm in with him. I get it graded for like $10-15. And then he calls me. He's like, by the way, it's $50.
It was
get
25
these
for
graded.
each because I
that's
didn't give
50.
it to I didn't give it to the guy. I didn't give it to the shop owner. I just gave it directly to the guy, but the guy was set up there already. I had to walk. I didn't know how I was supposed to bypass him and then like get the secret. I don't know. I was
Carrie
too
felt
much
too
social
uncomfortable.
awkwardness.
To ask.
I was like, it's
For
Dave's
a
money. Who
discount.
cares?
Oh my
Right?
gosh.
Okay, so the
were-
moral of
did-
the story, guys,
they
is
were
I
both
did.
not real. Or
No, the
not
Armin
able to
Shimmerman has an
authenticate.
authentication. I got that in my car for Dave. The Miley Cyrus,
Thank you, Carrie.
they gave.
Thank you for that.
He looked at me. The guy looked at me when I came back to pick it up. He's like, "Where did you get this?" And I'm like, which sounded already shady. I'm like, my buddy got it at a yard sale, which doesn't sound good. You know what I mean? But it's the truth. I said, my buddy got it at a yard sale, and he's
Carrie
all
to
like,
jail for a
I
fake
know.
autograph.
and then he's like, he was like, well, we had some. I don't even understand how this works. He's like, there's some signs that it's real, and there's some signs that it isn't. So we're inconclusive, and we're going to give you a $25 voucher. I'm like, just give the money back.
Oh.
And apparently they don't do that.
Just take the voucher.
So,
No,
And
understand
they're going to
this.
send
I
it
bought-
to us. So I don't even know if we're ever going to see it. I hope we do. Allegedly,
I
hope
have
we
an
do.
interesting story about Armin
you're gonna
Shimmerman.
see
So
it.
Armin Shimmerman, do you know who you played on Star Trek, Kevin?
Spork?
Quark, yes. Quark.
Was it really
Ferengi,
Cork?
with the big
I
ears.
almost-
Quark. With,
I said
yes.
Spork, and I was close.
You were pretty close. He had the big ears that like spin around like Princess Leia's hair. That's what
Yeah.
the okay.
Princess
So I bought that
Leia
on
ears.
Dibdit. I bought that on Dibdit cards, maybe actually. Either Dibdit or Dibdit cards. The guy was selling it. He said, "I don't have authentications. I think they're real." But I'm full disclosure, I don't know. And so I was like, "Yeah, I'll buy it." I paid $1 for it. And we found out now that it is legit, and it is actually. Do I have a COA to go with it?
Yeah, it came with a little
So
certificate.
guys, when I sell this on Dibdit, please start it at 25 for me, because that's what I'm 26 now. I've got
Well, you're
into
also
it.
out the 25. Well, no, we're actually getting a credit for that, so
I'm
you're
out
not
50,
out the other
yeah.
20. No, you're not out the 50 because we're getting. Dawn's going to use the credit that they send, and she's going to go get something she wants authenticated. She has
The shirt
a
I
Linda
bought.
Blair
It's a
autograph.
shirt. Yeah, I bought that
should've
shirt. I
given
hope
you
that's
the-
When
authentic.
she heard,
Boys
she's
one.
different though. When she heard 25, she's like, I'm going to pass. I don't need it that bad.
Well, yeah, because it is a lot. It's a lot. 25 is a lot comparatively to 15, I would say.
It's weird because I've gone there by myself and gotten one done for 20. I've had one done for 25. So like I don't know what the pricing is kind of
It's all
confusing
over the
with
place.
them.
Well, did you get any this time for yourself?
I didn't. I really don't have anything I need
Do you
authenticated.
think he could authenticate an ADH Dave Picks auto?
Dude, that would be a
Brennan?
fun video
What would he
for
That'd
That'd be
nobody.
a fun
dude.
video. Yeah,
Just
let's see if
sign
they
one
can
right in front
authenticate
of
this
him.
Kevin Brown CWP auto
Yeah.
and just bring it in.
They'd
and see
be
what
like,
happens.
this looks
They'd just be
nothing like
"No."
the
Who
1990s
is he?
Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher's autograph.
Well, anyways, thank you, Carrie, for getting me Quark's auto. I am pretty excited about
You're
that.
welcome.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
you're welcome, dude. Thank you. That's what I should have heard the first day, but I
Yeah.
appreciate hearing it now.
Well, you just, I think a part of it was like, he calls me, he's like, sorry. I just want to start off with sorry. I did
Because
this
I
all
wanted to,
wrong,
I didn't want you to
and
get your
it's
hopes up because
$50.
you were so excited
Yeah.
about this Miley Cyrus autograph.
I
You
was.
were
That
really
was the one I was
excited
excited
it.
about. If I had
And I
a
knew I
Miley auto-
immediately had to break your
I was gonna
heart.
be so
And I don't want to
excited.
break Dave's heart. He's already on such a thin wire. I don't want to send him
I have-
spiraling.
Yeah, severe depression. I speak 21 languages.
How many languages do you speak?
21.
Oh, nice.
Oh my!
Oh, is NaVi? Let's
that.
do a little light NaVi together.
Okay, Navi is a team in Counter Strike, and so I just watched ESL Melbourne carry, and this is like a secret episode now. My team went out in 4th place, so that was a little sad.
You're so weird when it comes to that. So,
Someone
Kevin,
in the
he
district,
watches Counter Strike games like on
Discord.
YouTube.
Discord.
Oh, it's Discord. What?
Someone in the Discord found a Ninjas in Pajamas hat at a yard sale, that is the
What is
name of
that?
a Counter Strike team, pro Counter Strike.
You don't
team.
even play it though. You don't play the game. That's so weird to me.
Dude, it's not that uncommon. I was
That's
talking
really
to my friend
weird.
ChatGPT about it, and they said I'm not that weird. I was having a
no,
complex about it, so I was-
ChatGPT it tries to make you feel better.
At least
about
I'm not over
yourself.
there like trying to find hacks to beat me in Catan.
No, they gave me some good Settlers of Catan hacks. Honestly,
That is true.
Dawn was all in on the Settlers of Catan hacks to the point where she lost by the most because she went all in on one hack. She should have looked because they gave her tons of stuff to do, and she just latched onto. Are you all right? Was that a Mr. Miyagi thing there that just happened?
Yes, I caught a gnat. Kevin,
Yeah,
did you
Dawn
find
went
the red
all
box
in.
one, the red and orange box one, or the blue box? Which color was it? You found a Catan. You said. I heard
It
you.
was yellow and red, wasn't it? I think.
Okay,
I don't
like the
know.
sunset,
It was just-
basically, right? Like a little orange.
Yeah, I think
The
that's
cheap
right.
one. That's the cheap one. That's like the $15, $20.
No,
Okay.
no, I looked up the comp on this one and it was higher than that. Not ridiculous, but I think like 44 if there's one. I don't know. I'll show it to you. I don't. Really
Was it brand new?
No, it wasn't brand new.
It must have been one of the expansions. There are some that are worth
it was at a
44.
sale that it didn't matter. You pay whatever, and it's like it didn't matter if that was in there or not. It was going to be the same price, so I put it in there and didn't really focus.
Well, a weird thing happened this weekend, which was pretty exciting for me as a father. Okay, I woke up to go to yard sales. Mama Picker's on her way over, and I'm sitting out there, and I see Elijah go into the bathroom, and I'm like, oh, he must not have slept, because that's typical for the teenager. It's like, oh, it's 6 a.m. He's probably going to bed. And I was like, I texted him. I was like, you just going to bed? He's like, no, I'm waking up. I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, I went to bed at like 9:30, 10 last night. I was like, whoa. I was like, you want to go yard sailing? And he said yes.
Wow.
He said
Didn't say
yes.
anything.
It was a throwback. Dude, he yard sailed with me and Grandma for like 4.5 hours.
Was Grandma
pretty
shocked
cool.
when she saw?
Yeah, Grandma came here. She's like, is Elijah coming with? She was so excited. She's like, is Elijah coming with us? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, okay.
Dude, and we had Elijah playing Catan with us too, which is a treat. Like, he doesn't play Catan with us a lot.
Elijah played Catan with us too. Yeah, it was.
He's better than you, which is the best
sleeping
part.
at night. Yes, he beat me. He always beats me. It's frustrating. The way you feel playing Catan with me, Carrie, is how I feel playing with him. Like, I just want to beat him one time.
He's good.
Yeah.
So how was your sourcing this week?
I went yard selling. Yeah, I went yard selling. So I already made a TikTok of one of them. I bought a T-shirt bundle and got a real banger, as the kids would say, a banger. I could show it to you guys.
Why don't you just sell it to me? I'll put it on eBay.
No bangers.
I'll show it to you, Kevin. Tell them about your sourcing, and then I want to get the T-shirt so I can.
So I wish that you could hear my sourcing stories, but we're sitting there. First of all, everybody stays up all night, like Carrie does every night at these events, and I'm like,
I just woke
it's
up.
probably going to be 2 o'clock before I fall asleep, and I'm gonna be waking up at 6:30, something like that. So I'm like, I don't know. I like to get super early to these sales. We're going north. We went about 30 minutes north, all 4 of us in a car, and I just didn't have high expectations for the day, and I wish we would have taken 2 cars. And I wish we would have been out there earlier, and we could have filled up 2 cars full of stuff. And let me tell you, those ladies can buy. They can buy. Mike doesn't buy a ton, and I like to buy too, not like Dave. But I think, Dave, if you had your massive van and you had the 4 of us in there with you, we would have been squeezing stuff into that van.
Really?
That's
Wow.
how crazy it was. It was
pretty wild.
pretty good. Crazy.
What was the find of the day? Find of the day. It doesn't need to be yours.
Find of the day, I get to tell a story before Mike does on reseller leftovers. Find of the day was, I think, by Kristen, a rural squirrel. It was a Pendleton jacket. I think she thinks it's $250 or so, somewhere around there. And the price was $25 on it. And she was, I think, happy to pay $25. And Mike's like, oh no. And so he takes it
Mike's
over
like,
to the lady.
let me just verbally abuse the seller for about 30 minutes, and you're gonna get it for $1.
That's my favorite part of picking with Mike. Is like I realize how low people will actually go on their prices. Like you actually figure out what the bottom is.
I backed up from the situation because I didn't want to put it on my video because I don't want people to think Mike is a bad person because he's not. He's a good person. And he was helping out somebody else. He's helping out Kristen. And remember, these she does the bins, so she wants stuff dirt cheap because she finds great stuff at the bins dirt cheap. And anyways, long story short, she walked away paying $10 for that. $10.
Yeah, that was you could have just said she got it.
Story long.
You could have probably. I bet you we could chat GPT that down to 11 seconds.
But hey, there was so much stuff out
Listen,
there. She helped me
Kevin,
out twice with items. I'm like, you're not gonna buy
wait,
this?
what did
She's
she
like, "I don't
what did
buy
she
that
get the
stuff."
price down to? What did she get the price down to?
He got it down to $10.
10. That was like when he bought this thinking Atari that she had at 50 and ended up paying 10. I was like, I don't know how you did that, Mike, but well done. So that's good. 250, yeah. And so, but you had buys that weren't individually better, but like as a whole would be more money.
Well,
right?
yeah, but
potentially
so much
like the
more work.
cups.
Yeah. I get you got to ship 15 different. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying. I'm
times
just saying
versus
like
code.
because I think the bystander
store
might say,
and all
oh,
that.
200 is not like a crazy day, but you have to remember they're getting 200 and then 50 and then 30 and then in profit.
Oh yeah, 200
For a whole
in
day.
profit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so far,
That's
so
for one
far
item.
you found some Pizza Hut glasses and a Pendleton jacket. That doesn't sound like the best day ever.
You asked me
Cups,
what the
not
best find
glasses?
of the day was. I told you what the best
I
find
asked.
of the day
To be
was.
fair,
The
I
best
asked,
yard
so
sale
Carrie's
of the
allowed
day.
to belittle
I
you.
was actually, I wasn't
I'm
interested.
gonna
Yeah.
okay. So we go to this sale. It's 10:30 in the afternoon, and remember, there's 200 pickers at a
perfect time to
convention
pick.
in town. And the sale before, I didn't get out of the car. I was messaging somebody. I'm like, y'all go hit this one up. And then I see Mike walking out with a $100 glove for $2 and stuff. I'm like, oh, and Kristen
Baseball
buys
glove?
bags
Or Michael
of
Jackson
shoes
glove?
and-
I bet that'd be
So
awesome.
it was a new neighborhood,
Batting
like
glove?
brand new. Like they were doing construction. So sometimes
He can't
those
hear
neighbors
us.
that are brand new, I can hear you. I'm just ignoring.
I said,
So
what
is he
kind
just
of
going to put
glove?
that?
My story.
Is he going to
It's a
put that in a
trapeze.
drawer in his garage for the next 3 years?
A beautiful
Dawn or
trapeze
Dave buys
Rawlings
it?
pro player glove. It was beautiful.
Baseball,
Anyway.
then. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Baseball.
baseball. Well, yeah. What? Wait, Michael
There's
Jackson
other kinds of
glove?
gloves, dude.
I
it could be a
literally
batting
said
glove.
Michael Jackson glove.
Oh, okay.
No
Hockey
glove, no love.
gloves, golf gloves.
Could be a lot. There's a
for
lot.
$100?
Dirt biking gloves. Dirt biking gloves.
Yeah,
Yes.
dirt-
Hockey
yeah.
Goldie glove.
Yeah,
Anyway,
motorcycle
the very
gloves.
next sale we go to, there wasn't even marked.
Snow
We're going
gloves,
to
like
this
if it's
sale.
cold outside. I mean, you got to
No
be
glove,
more
no love?
specific. No glove,
Pull
no
up
love.
to this sale. Can I tell my story?
I
Pull up to the
guess.
store. Pull up to the sale. We all get out. We probably pulled $1,500 worth of stuff out of one sale.
That's
and the
picker
total
math.
Price
That's
for
picker
everybody.
math. That's
It is.
Commonwealth
It's a
picker
fish
math. What's
story.
the true? What's the
yeah.
true amount that you'll get out of that?
Well, we
300.
can ask them. I'm gonna say. Well, I can tell you. I pulled 250 out, and I paid 17.
But after your
Area
the
jacket,
gas, after
brand new
fees, after
polo.
taxes, after your hourly wage, how
No.
much are you making?
I lost 20.
I did a video about that this week.
Oh, you did? You broke it down?
Yeah, on my Flipper channel. I broke
and
it
I
down
wanted to
kinda.
watch it on the way home today, and I got enamored with with Rod's
things.
sale. I'm like, dude, this stuff is fire. I gotta buy.
Kevin
it.
got enamored with erotic audiobooks on his drive home. He's listening to
Exactly.
50 Shades of Grey on the way home.
50 Shades of Grey. And then all the knockoffs. 50
51
Shades was
Shades
good,
of
but when,
Grey.
yeah. 52
Shades
Shades
of
of
Puce.
Purple. 53 Shades of Blue.
Okay, so let me tell you I already told Carrie and Kevin this story, so it's not going to be very exciting for them. And I also put it on Facebook, and I put it on TikTok because I made a video, so you may have already seen it. But I found a bundle of shirts. Like, this yard sale was kind of a strikeout. Like, we were actually leaving. I'd already put my stuff in. I paid the lady. And then I was like, let me go look at the shoes. I hate shoes. Let me go look at the shoes. I would go to look at the shoes. There's on the ground a bundle of T-shirts, basically, with, like, tape, packing tape wrapped around them in, like, a ball. And it says on red marker, $5 bundle. And I'm like, oh, let me at least look. $5 if it's like 5 shirts. I could sell them on Dipped It Threads, even at $1 a piece. I wouldn't lose that much. You know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. But I was like, let me just look. And I spot just this corner of this one shirt.
How come you don't interrupt him?
Because he.
It's just
That's a
like
good question, Carrie. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. I appreciate unfair treatment towards Kevin. Feel free to do it in the comments.
I think there's
below.
probably some deep psychological reasons if we want to get into it.
It's probably
I
jealousy.
just-
We're a little
I think
jealous of you,
yeah,
Kevin.
Probably
I think we
gonna
just
get-
Not
know
your
you're
height
so
or your.
Costing him.
you're
wiener
just so
size, but-
respected in the community, and
Yeah,
we're
people
just
love you.
and then we just have to try to bring you down
They
a
hate
peg.
us. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, so I bought the $5 thing, and I left my camera on, really good content creation stuff. I brought it out to the car, and I was like, yo, Mom and Elijah, look at this. I think there's a single stitch in here. We're going to open it up and reveal it on camera. And I did it, and it ended up being this shirt, which I'll show the audience. This is a single stitch, all over print, Ultimate Pepsi promo shirt, like super
That
limited.
is so awesome.
Extra large, got Kramer on the front from Seinfeld. And it's just got it's beautiful condition. This is like 90s. The sold comps on Worth Point Rod sent me is 3 of them have sold for like $300 a piece. And that was in the $5 shirt bundle. I was like, that was my find of the day.
That
for
was
sure. That was
amazing.
my find of the day. That was really
I
cool.
pretty
can't
good.
beat that. Neither can a rural squirrel.
But don't worry, I will only be getting about 60 for it on Dipped It Threads probably.
No, I'd pay more than that.
What would you pay for it on Threads? You getting $100
On
at least?
Threads? Like,
Yeah,
if you just
$100
said,
at least.
what will you pay for it right now, and you just bring it up to me, and
No, in a
I'll
bidding
take
war.
it.
In a bidding war. In a bidding war.
What would I bid? I
You're in what they call
have a
in
I
the
think we do
business-
$100 pretty easy.
I have a problem when I'm bidding against other people like that I like. Like, there was something in Rod's
You
show
wanna let
today
them
that
win?
I absolutely wanted. It was Thunderlips. You remember Thunderlips from Rocky? It's Hulk Hogan. It was his cape.
I don't
and it was
remember,
signed.
but
well,
yeah.
not the one from
Yeah,
Rocky.
we were
but you get the
barely
point.
alive at that point, but go ahead.
And I'm like, this thing is amazing. And I'm like, I'm going to pay $200, $250 for this thing.
Wow.
And then when it got down to it, and he started auctioning it, I'm like, I want it. I'll pay $300. And then Shirley was in there bidding, and I'm like, I feel like I'm bidding Shirley up, and it's my site, and I'm like,
What did she get it for?
She got it for $250, and she
Okay.
immediately
That's
put
about
my
what you
max.
wanted to pay
She
for it.
immediately wrote in my max bid was $500. Rock's
You would have
like-
lost anyways, yeah.
I would have lost anyways. But so I'm glad. Well, not
What
for
is this?
Rock.
I want to look up Thunder Lips, and I want to not accidentally end up on
You've
the
never
wrong
seen
site.
Rocky
Yeah.
3? You've never
Rocky.
seen Rocky?
It's Rocky Horror Picture Show or Rocky the...
Gosh.
Oh, it's Hulk Hogan. It's
No, yeah,
literally
you,
Hulk Hogan.
you Google it and you just put no bad stuff, and then nothing bad will come up.
Kevin, was it an action figure?
I just told you what it was.
I didn't listen. I have ADD.
It's a cape. He wore a cape in the movie. And
So
it was
you
a
wanted a
replica of the
cape?
I wanted the cape, and it was signed.
What were you
by
gonna do
him
with it?
With a picture of it. I was
Oh, it
going to
was signed.
frame it and put it in my '80s cave. It's Hulk Hogan and Rocky. It's the collab of collabs.
My gosh.
It was
Okay.
amazing.
All right.
You can look them up on eBay. Sure,
did- well,
gonna
I-
make money on it.
I didn't look it up on eBay, but I did see what it is. It's kind of cool.
So I would pay if it wasn't for the fact that I'd be bidding against somebody else for that stuff. And I bid every once in a while. Carrie never bids because he doesn't like doing that at all. But I bid on the stuff I really want for me that's personal, or sometimes a flip. But I try to keep it to a minimum. I would pay for that shirt, Dave. I would give you. I think I would give you 120 for that shirt.
Oh, it's not bad.
Sold.
There it is. There's the, this is the
Sold.
cape you were bidding on?
Yes.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Well, one of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
that's
lot
pretty
of
cool.
them in there.
I
think
showed
he's
it on
gonna-
the screen, guys. Technology.
Signed by Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I
You
think
could've
he was
just
going
looked
to
it
do
up on
some.
eBay,
I think he was probably going to do some OnlyFans content with that.
Oh, just that and nothing else?
Yeah, did you
Did
see
get
the?
Thunder, Kevin! Thunder Lips!
Yeah, he's got the rest of the outfit already, so might as well.
What, the
I did get a new
underpants?
old stock Alf hat with the tags. That'll go in my.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I
So
bought
the
one
other
t-shirt.
the other come up I had, like I had a lot of little bits and bobs and neat things here and there. Most of the stuff I got was like so cheap it was whatever money, like 50 cents for an ashtray that I sold on Antiquity for $5, whatever. Like
That's nice.
you
It
know,
was
little
a
things like
cross
that.
Ashtray. You
To
sold
be
it for
honest,
10.
I went to your house. I think it
Did
was
I
on
sell it for 10?
Saturday.
I think so.
Yeah.
I could be
Yeah.
wrong. Or
You did
9 maybe.
Yeah, it
whatever.
was.
That-
I don't think it was
that's an
quite 10.
Italian
I got it like for
cross
next to nothing.
tray.
Yeah, I got it for next to
yeah.
nothing.
It was a good deal.
So it didn't matter. So what Carrie, you went to my house?
No,
on
I was just
Saturday?
saying, like, I went to your house on Saturday afternoon, and then you were going through you were halfway through showing your haul, and then I realized it was Saturday, and that there was yard sales in the morning. I really
So
didn't even
the-
remember.
The
I'm
other,
so disconnected
the other thing
from
I
that.
did, like, I went to a neighborhood, a community sale. It was all community sales on Saturday. Like, it was everywhere was a community sale, except one church sale. But I go to the community sale, and it was like kind of a unknown community sale. There wasn't really any advertising for it. I just ran upon the sign. And I get in there, and like you could tell, no one had really come to these sales. And they're like, it's like 11:30. Some people are packing up. They've like given up and stuff. And so I might have just been like, how much for that tote you're carrying into the garage? How much for this whole table? Like just because I knew they wanted stuff gone. And that's where I kind of got my best deals. Like I got a giant tote full of Ninja Turtle stuff sealed and all that for like $50. And the other one I got like a huge overflowing tote of NASCAR stuff, which isn't great, but it was $25 for like 70 items. So that's a good deal too.
The excitement
like, I
of
mean-
a flip is based upon how much you pay for it, right? Like if you pay 25
so
for a
selling them
big
for
tote of
$1
those,
today. I sold a couple things for $1 today. I was like, yeah, I made a profit on that. Like even at $1, I make a profit on every one of these NASCAR things. And
Are
then
you
I sold it
already
later
in the
for like
profit?
$8
are you
Yeah,
already in the
so-
profit for both those?
I
for the
bet you
whole
had-
day. For the whole day, I'm in the profit. So I spent $250 Saturday, and I made $270 on my first show, and then another like $30 on Antiquity, or maybe $50 on Antiquity, but $30 of that was the electronic thing. So yeah,
You have,
I'm at
like-
about $300. Spent $250. Haven't moved the shirt yet, which is another thing.
And
You know what
haven't
I mean?
moved
So I'll do good.
2/3 of the other inventory.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of other inventory. I'll do at least another hour and a half on Tuesday to sell the rest of it, probably.
We have
Probably
about
get another 250 to
6 community
300.
sales up here a year. And so it's like every picker and their brother is at every community sale because they happen so very rarely. So
Really?
I'm super jealous. But when it was a community sale, it was like a whole county or something that had a community sale. We could have stayed out till 2, 3 in the afternoon, but we had to get back for lunch to the event. So
Well, I am going to be missing all the community sales this weekend, but there is a ton this weekend coming up, too. Just
yeah.
everywhere. It's crazy. But, you know, we'll miss them. Where else are we going to miss the Browns, Carrie?
We are? Oh, wow.
Anyway, so we're back in action. Carrie said something so inappropriate we had to do like a little time
Yeah.
to cut it out.
And I
so-
just want to get ahead of this.
Just
Dave-
apologize even though we didn't release it.
Yeah, Dave tricked me into saying something that he wanted to say himself.
This is not an accurate retelling of the horrifying thing Carrie said.
We got quite a bit of criticism in the comments this week. We have.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, Rad Relics is mad at me because
let's talk about that.
Yeah, should we?
I don't know. Sure.
Here's rule number 1. If you get this is my first thought on the Rad Relics thing. Go back and check the comment. If you get a good deal off somebody, right, in an auction, just keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself, right?
Let's go through it. Let's what?
Read
Okay.
it.
I didn't. Oh, I've still not read it or looked at it. But from what I understand, Rad Relic said something along the lines of like Dib Dip being a waste of time because Carrie's not making any money and he's making tons of money by buying from Carrie. Essentially, like he bought a bunch of video games.
He basically said, like, first off, that whole lot of video games was profitable for us. Plus, content
super profitable.
was profitable.
You made a ton
super
of money.
profitable.
You made
super
you spent
profitable.
like 300 and probably made like 1,500 on that stuff.
Dude, that law was insane. But the whole thing that was weird to me was not that he made a profit, because he probably should, because the stuff sold for under eBay. It's just the weirdness of like talking trash about it, because you would think if you're getting good deals
to the person who gave you the good deal.
Yeah, you would think you want to continue to buy and get good deals. That seems pretty dumb.
Making for a long time. There are some people that live
allegedly
in areas where there are so
everything
much
I say
stuff that
umbrella of allegedness.
It just makes sense. I mean, I talked to so many people this weekend who are doing what a lot of people are doing. Live selling is not for everybody. It's for the people that can make more by moving more volume, because one person can only do so much, and it makes perfect sense for them. It's just that simple. There's so many people that's like, oh, I could sell whatever for 24 hours a day. There's so much where I live. And it's
pallet
so cheap.
Buyers, storage unit buyers, bins buyers.
There are so many
people
in
places like where I am, where I can always go
$200,000
sourcing. Yeah. It just depends on your situation. I mean, up in Connecticut, I could never do this because there was like 2 months of yard sales.
Rod could buy and pay for storage units and pay for more storage, because you can only list and sell so much on unless you're hiring employees and doing everything. And so
there's also niches where you can do this more. Like sports cards is you could never endingly get content and supply. Like I could go within 3 hours of myself on any day of the week and find card shops to buy big boxes of cards from if I want to do run shows. And that's not even a garage sale or a flea market, let alone I can do that. So
I talked to 4 or 5 different people that are selling hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars well under eBay value and are making far more money than I make. So,
yeah, I mean, so listen, there's another part of it where it's like maybe you're like me and you don't want to be storing a lot, or you have a small space for storage and you want it just gone right after you buy it. For me, I've repurposed half of my garage for something else, and so I don't have as much room to store stuff. So for me, it just makes sense to get it and move it and move on.
I've lived that life, man. I've talked about it before, having multiple storage units of store filled with junk. I don't want it anymore. It
helps the people who want to take it and flip it. I mean, Biggs, he put an Instagram out the other day. He's like, this is the stuff I bought on eBay or on Dibdit, and this is what I sold it for. There's deals to be had.
Listen, I just watched Hoarders, an episode of Hoarders last night, which I don't know if we're allowed to watch as pickers. There's a lot of stuff that rings kind of true when I watch Hoarders. But this lady was like, yeah, I'm a flea market seller. And you go into her house, and you can't even walk.
Away.
You can't even walk. And honestly, it was a lot of good stuff. It really wasn't bad stuff, but none of it was listed. She's like, well, I got that listed, and that I'm going to bring to the market. And the guy's like, you don't have a method to move this quickly enough. They ended up throwing and donating it a bunch because she didn't have a good way to actually move it, and therefore it's not really making you any money if you're just buying it and storing it forever. So for some people it makes more sense to just move it immediately. And yes, Rad Relics, was it Rad Relics? Is that who it was? We know you
you
make
could
money
definitely
off what we sell. That's what
you
we
can
want.
definitely go. And it's not just honestly, it's not just our sites. You can go on other district sites. You could go on Whatnot. You can go on other auction sites and find deals all day in whatever niche you're interested in. Funko Pops, comic books. The thing? I don't know if they sell on there. And you can find deals to flip because people are doing fast nickel and then selling to people probably doing slow dime.
I'm trying to do both at the same time.
Or in the middle somewhere.
What I was doing
Kevin's
was
dividing his efforts.
not bringing my best inventory to the live selling, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy. I want to bring good stuff to both platforms, and I want both of them.
That's
to
the
grow.
hardest.
It is the hardest. Well, it's
The
not.
hardest part.
It's hard to straddle the line.
But it's why
That's what she said.
It's why I've got an employee that does the live selling. I'm making a smaller margin, but my total income is going up because I'm able to grow both of them. And my
I'm
eBay
doing,
sales
like,
aren't going down except for the last
Dibdit.com.
3 days.
I do sports cards primarily is what I do. So with sports cards, like if it's an obvious person, Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, it's going to go on, my live auctions. But if it's more obscure, but it has value, and I don't know if I could get that value in a live auction, then I put it elsewhere. But on Dibdit, I'm like regular Dibdit, regular stuff. I'm throwing most everything I have up. So
I
Well,
wasn't
okay,
talking
Kevin,
about
you
that
said there was
comment,
other
by the way.
drama. What's the other drama?
Yeah.
what's the other
Well, Harry
drama you're
talked-
starting?
Some YouTube influencer guy, Harry something,
Tornado?
said that he says, personally, I think you guys are spreading yourselves too thin with all the district marketplaces. If you just
Okay,
made
soap
one
guy.
trash to cash marketplace and put all of your time and effort into building that one, you wouldn't need to have 12 different.
I like Josh. He's a nice
for
guy.
all these different.
Josh
things.
is a wonderful human being.
It would
A
also
little
be
too,
easier
a little
to
weird about the
police
soap when he's an influencer and a reseller, and then he's now a soap daddy. It's confusing.
I totally understand why you wouldn't want to have or why you would want to have different marketplaces for different categories of items. But man, this is a long comment. To be
You
honest,
came in
it's
there and were
very
super
hard.
cryptic. You were like, the future is now and everything will happen within time. You were like Nostradamus in there in
Me?
your reply to him.
Did I reply to him?
I think
I
it's
think you did.
possible
Oh, I did.
that like one day the markets would recombine if the platform was set up differently. But as of right now, it makes the most sense.
Can
to do
I
it the way
just
we're
can
doing
I just tell the strategy right now?
it. If you take
Give
your
it
shirt
away,
off,
I
no,
guess.
you gotta take your shirt off.
Yep, shirt off time. Shirt off time. Shirt off time.
All right, go. Tell your strategy.
No, I'm
For
not
those
gonna-
listening on Spotify, his shirt is off.
I don't want to give it away. That's good. This is my strategy. This is the new logo for Dibdit.com.
He's
would
balancing
work.
all the Pepsi cans.
I don't feel it feels tenuous at best.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna hold on to it for very long.
But that's not the only comment.
oh
Flip
my
the World,
gosh,
Oh my
Texas.
gosh.
hot dog.
Yeah. So
He
yeah,
texted
don't
me. He
make
texted me.
Cancel
Texted me.
Flip the World video. I was reading. I was like, is Chris mad?
Was he
at
upset
me?
with your
So I
very
called him.
clickbait title, Dave?
I
Why?
had
What
to
did he
call
say?
him.
What did he say?
I don't know. Was he upset? I don't know. I can't
I
tell.
didn't hear the
to be
comment.
honest.
Kevin didn't read it.
So yeah, don't make cancel Flip the World videos. Number 2, Goodwill is moving towards.
Oh, that's about
online
Vad is
auctions.
Rad. That's about Vad is Rad.
Oh,
is it?
okay.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Via their own website. Goodwill is moving. This is what I said. Just saying. Goodwill is moving towards online auctions, and people say, "Well, they already do that." No, they're moving toward online live
And-
auctions
And they should.
nationwide. So they have always had pullers at retail donation centers, but in Houston, blah 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 blah. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but
I blame Josh for letting the Goodwill guy into FlipCon.
Yep. Thank you,
100%
Josh.
Josh's fault. Thank you, Josh. That was the funniest.
The lady yelling at the Goodwill guy. Remember that?
That was.
Remember?
I had like
Yesterday?
second and
Yeah.
third hand embarrassment. I was embarrassed that I was
I
embarrassed
was
about
right.
it.
I was right. I'm like, people are.
I
looking
recorded
over
it.
here. I'm like,
I recorded
whoa,
it. It's on
Yeah,
an
it
old
is true.
Flipper video, I think,
Camera.
somewhere.
Yep.
Pulled out my
Carrie
camera.
was busy filming his feet and sending me pictures of it.
Yeah,
That was
well,
going on.
Basically, guys, for context, if you're new here, we went to an event that Josh hosted, and a Goodwill employee was there, like talking on stage, and some random reseller in the crowd just starts screaming at him about how Goodwill is horrible. It was pretty awkward.
It's pretty much
collectively
completely awesome.
awkward. It's like an episode of The Office, you know? Just everyone's just like squirming, like, oh, this feels weird. Okay, so Cowtown Picker says, I had a friend give me some old electronics he found while cleaning out his dad's garage. Some 8mm projectors, old cameras, reel-to-reel recorders. How do I share what I do with people while avoiding their dumping their old junk on me? Reel-to-reel recorders are
sorry.
not junk, especially
I didn't
Sony.
listen.
If it's
I
a
didn't-
Tell
Sony
them you
branded,
don't want
if
the
it's a
stuff.
Sony branding reel-to-reel, send it to me and I will sell it. Those
Oh,
do
there
good.
are some reel-to-reels that do good.
Yeah, there's some
of them
really
are
valuable
super
ones.
heavy and hard to ship, though. But you could part those out. A lot of reel.
You tell them
Listen, I
you
don't
tell them
think-
you're a reseller and you're not that good at it, so you're not qualified to sell
here's-
that. You just can't
Here's my
handle
answer,
it.
Cowtown Picker, because I don't think Kevin was listening, and Carrie, I'm 50-50, he might have been listening. But
Don't know where I
the
am.
correct answer is you don't. If you have someone who's dropping their junk on you, let them do it. Because every now and then they're going to drop something that's worth a lot of money. And you can just throw away or donate.
Yeah,
the
toss
crappy
the rest.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, who cares? Just
Liars
take it all
in the
and
comments as well. People just straight
Liars?
up lying.
Wow.
Yeah, just right in public.
Who's lying?
Just dropping
What,
lies.
who's lying?
what? Someone
Kevin?
said
Should I
Kevin
call
is
him out?
smart or Kevin is
I'm gonna
cute.
call him
What did
out.
they say?
Kevin's
Chris the
Kevin's
Goose.
not using hair
Chris
dye.
the Goose, straight up lies right here in
Okay.
public.
I like
Let's hear
Chris
it.
the Goose. He's a good guy.
I think he's a nice guy, but you have a
He's a
different
liar.
opinion. Go ahead.
Go ahead and attack our
Okay.
viewer.
Great
ahead.
episode. Keep up the great content.
Oh, that is a lie. Yeah.
Yeah. You
That was
gotta
a
have
really
better
cheesy
taste,
dad
Chris. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheesy dad joke. Bodega
It
Fine
is.
says garage sellers are just resellers in Crocs, slinging granddaddy's old Tupperware like it's a family treasure. We're out here paying taxes and shipping fees, and somehow we're the bad guys. Ain't that a mess? How is it fine for them to sell their junk, but when we do it, they act like we're selling bootleg moonshine? Somebody, for the love of biscuits, explain this to me.
Could we make it illegal for them to use ChatGPT to make their questions?
I think
or
they had
raps?
ChatGPT
That's-
make it sound more southern. Like, take my
Yeah.
question and southernize it. Do
Yeah, we can't.
you have
We
an
can't
answer,
allow
Carrie?
that.
you have an
What?
answer, or do you want me to
I didn't-
translate it to New England speak? Let me
Yeah,
translate
you
that
know,
to New
yeah,
England
translate
speak
it via,
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, do it
Rewrite-
in Utah, because I lived in Utah. Do it like Utah
rewrite
Mormon speak.
this in Utah speak. Okay, here we go. This will be for Carrie.
Okay.
So this is what row Bodega it's row, right? Bodega
Okay.
Funds
Row,
is row.
yeah, it's row.
Yeah. Garage sailors are just resellers in Croc, hawking Grandpa's old Tupperware like it's pure gold.
Oh.
Meanwhile, we're the ones paying taxes, covering shipping, doing it by the book, and somehow we're the bad guys. Tell me how it makes a lick of sense. They can peddle their yard junk all day long, no problem, but heaven forbid we try to make a living suddenly, and it's like we're out here running a bootleg operation. Honestly, someone help me out here, because that's just plain backwards. Did that help?
I kind of zoned out a little, but like, yeah. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I think people are mean to resellers and it's not fair. And I think they should be nicer to resellers. People like Kevin are very sensitive.
I don't know. I saw these resellers out there this week, and I'm like, man, I'm paying too much.
These
I
are-
did have a video where I was told you pay too much for this stuff, and so now I get the other end of the equation. They're ticked off. I paid too much in my last video.
See, I don't get that. I'm at the point with my YouTube content on my main channel that they're just happy I'm there. They're just like, we're just glad you made a video. That's where I want to be. I'm in my happy place. They're just surprised I made a video. There's nothing negative. It's just like, let's encourage him so he doesn't stop.
Carrie did
If I start
something.
Yeah, if I start making too many,
bar
then they're
is
going to
so
start
low.
Yeah, then they're going to start nitpicking again, and I don't need that.
Carrie, I asked it to translate
a
it
lot of
last
dollars,
translation, but Kevin, you'll like this too. I asked it to translate to Florida speak. Just because I
Yeah,
feel like we're
dude.
Florida men now.
Yeah,
it said,
we are Florida
garage
men.
sellers out here in Crocs, slinging granddaddy's Tupperware like it's buried treasure. We're paying taxes, shipping fees, doing it legal like. But somehow we're the sketchy ones. Meanwhile, they're stepping over gators and dodging the neighbor's meth lab to sell a $2 blender. Only in Florida, man.
Dude, seriously. If I had $1 for every gator I had to step over at a yard sale.
Yeah, that's true. There's a fuzzy caterpillar that looks like a mustache, Carrie, and it's the most venomous caterpillar in the world, which who even knew there was venomous caterpillars.
Yeah.
And
New
they live in
fear
Florida.
unlocked.
Mostly in Texas.
Why did you
Mostly
tell
in
me
Texas.
this?
Tell them that.
Why
Well,
did you
listen,
tell
I
me
don't-
that?
Like, they don't leave like a dangerous trail. They'd have to actually bite you. You'd have to pick one up. They're not aggressive.
Okay.
You'd have to go
Okay.
see this mustached caterpillar, pick it up, and play with it, and then you would get bitten and die. Although you wouldn't die, you'd just get diarrhea. It actually
That's-
doesn't
that's
kill
better.
you. It's just uncomfortable. Yeah,
Well,
it just
diarrhea can
hurts.
kill you if you have it bad enough.
Order details.
Yeah, my cousin is an EMT, a paramedic or whatever, and he says like half of his job, like he's with the firemen, and you'd think half his job is putting out fires. It's not. He said half his job is unsticking elderly people from between the toilet and the bathtub because they like fall into that crack, and he's got to help them get out. That's like an actual real thing we need to worry about when we hit like 85. Prepare yourself, Carrie. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
constantly like Vaseline the side of my tub and the side of my
just
toilet.
get
so I can
Yeah,
get out
no,
of
I'll
here.
just
Just get
probably
some-
go wherever I'm at.
You guys are on the track. You won't
Yeah.
be able to fit between the toilet.
Oh
and the-
wow!
That's
yeah,
true.
you
That's
always
hurtful,
subtly
but yeah. Wow,
make
low
fat
blow.
jokes about us. You're always. I
Here,
feel
listen.
like yeah. It's fair,
The
though.
problem is the amount of stress Kevin puts on me and Carrie and all the stuff he
Yeah,
wants us to
it's
do
true,
for him.
it's true.
That we eat. We eat out of stress, and we
Yeah,
can't stop.
exactly.
We're binging.
Kevin-
We're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Kevin needs us.
I
to
wake
watch
up. I'm like,
stuff.
today's gonna be a good day, and then Kevin kind of says something mean,
In
and then I
Nashville
eat.
this morning.
and then I have to have a freaking
to
cinnamon
Jack
bun.
in the Box. Dave's favorite food,
Nice.
breakfast
I
Jacks.
hate Jack. This is the worst
And
fast
so,
food.
I love breakfast Jack. So I got to go there because there's none around here. And I get down there, and Mike orders a breakfast jack and 4 tacos. 4.
Wow.
How big are
How many-
tacos? Are small.
You're not making it out of the Jack in the Box if you eat 4 tacos.
4.
You're going to be
I'll
spending
do-
an additional
I made
35
him
minutes
give
in
me
there.
Their food
one.
is not
I made
good.
him give me one.
I like those Jack in
I
the
did
Box
install-
tacos, honestly.
I installed a hammock in the yard today, Kevin, for you. So when you come down here, you'll have a hammock to sit on. You know, it's
This
under the
fall.
I
tree.
feel
it's under
like
the shade tree.
Kevin can eat like junk more than we can. I feel like because
It's 'cause
he
of the
burns so
Zyn.
many calories. Yeah, the Zyn.
The
He's
nicotine.
constantly chewing on that. That's how many calories an hour are you burning just chewing on
No,
your
like
Zyn?
nicotine makes you burn fat faster, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Like,
exactly.
Or lowers your appetite. It lowers
So-
your appetite, I think.
So if we want to lose weight, we got to get a healthy habit
I've got a
like
good
chewing
one. I
on
think Dave
Zyn.
can give me my sold comp on this one. Vintage
Before you go, wait,
trade-
Kevin. Before wait. Before I just want to mention something. Does the Zyn stuff taste minty?
It is. It tastes
Is
good.
it like
If you
what's the
get-
flavor
if you
of
get-
that?
If you get, there's all kinds of different flavors.
You know how like after you brush your teeth, you don't really want to eat because you got that toothpaste taste in your mouth. I bet that's one of the things that probably helps you not have a big. I should get into Zyn. Okay, anyways, go on.
No, you shouldn't. Vintage Schrade Stockman pocket knife 3-blade. Vintage Schrade Stockman pocket knife 3-blade. It's sold on 30% off. What did it sell for? This was a
You
crazy
sold it?
buy too.
You
Yeah.
sold it?
I bought a bag full of knives for like $5, and there was a $90 one.
A Schrade?
Yeah, this is just a vintage.
I
Schrade
would say like
Stockman
probably
pocket 3-blade.
$24. $24. A
a
3-blade.
Schrade?
Yeah, $24 is fine.
SCHRADE.
That's right. You got it.
So it's a Schrade knife. Okay. Okay. I was trying to make
Delay a
sure. So
little
it's not.
longer.
It's not like okay. So Schrade. I'm gonna go $32 because it's a Schrade.
$27.97.
Who's closer? I think Dave won
I was-
technically.
Dave
But
was
you,
closer, yeah.
And you went over. Yeah. So that was 30%
Yeah,
off.
sorry.
So I listed it too high, but I did the Tim over the years method, which is I put it with a really, really great picture, and I overpriced it, then I discounted it, and it worked.
did you have like the Thunder Lips photo shoot? You were just holding the knife and you had your.
Teen Wolf 2, 1987 Paramount VHS promo paper mask. Michael J. Fox.
The Tim over the years method. So here's a knife I sold, Kevin. I sold this knife here. It's a Gerber.
Yep.
Gerber.
Okay, so you can play that. We can play the guessing game with Dibbed It. Okay.
Yeah.
Sold it on Dibbed It. It's a Gerber Randy Newberg Hunter Edition. It has 2 blades.
Wait.
So 1 and then 2.
Didn't Randy Gerber
that.
marry Cindy Crawford?
Randy Newberg.
Oh, Newberg.
Newberg. Gerber is the brand.
All right,
Is
Randy
this
I'm gonna
the
let
does the
Carrie
baby?
guess.
Do the baby food people make these knives?
Yeah, well, and they're 4 babies. They're
Did
actually
I
Is
say
this-
babies.
case? Did you have
So
a
is this
case
not
for
a
that?
Schrade SCHRADE?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Or is this a
Yeah,
Gerber
had the case.
GERBER?
Have the matching case there.
I'm going to say...
case there.
Is it a Randy?
What was the
it's-
price on that? $2?
How much did you sell it for?
That's number
Oh, that's
42.
number 2. Number 42.
number
You're
four.
42.
Number
I'm going to
42,
say $16.
Okay, so
Carrie?
Kevin says 16. What did you sell for, Dave?
I don't know. I'm still looking it up.
I want to see if he'll give me the number. I'm gonna go $22.
I got 15 for it. $15.
Okay.
for that knife.
baby.
And I
win.
paid.
I
I
win.
paid. I think $2 for it. So it's
Kevin was
not bad.
technically closer, but I feel like I
It's
win.
probably worth, what, 30, 25?
I think
like
it's like
that on eBay?
25, but I'm gonna check. I
That's a
didn't
good
check,
deal.
but I think it's 25.
There are
That's
a lot
good.
of folks over there buying for themselves too with certain items, which is really cool, and that's growing pool, which is nice. If you guys would
Yeah.
do more TikToks with that, thank you very much. That it would help
Brand-
grow the
I did a
buyer
TikTok.
base over there.
Brand new
talking to
one
Carrie.
sold for 20 or for 35, and then pre-owned one sold for 20 plus shipping. So yeah, a little under eBay value, but not well. No, this guy sold one for 37 plus shipping. So yeah, it's under eBay, but it's not bad. I'm happy with $15.
That's
fine.
2 into 16 in an hour. Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
so
day
that shirt,
afterwards.
Carrie, I did the TikTok for the shirt, and at the end I said I'll be selling this on dibbeditthreads.com. So like the whole video is an ad for Dibbed It Threads, kind of cool,
Yeah,
right?
it sounds like it. Yeah.
You should do that. You should do that with your cards. Like, I'm gonna be losing $40 on this by selling it on Dibbed
I
It
had
cards.
so many
Something like that.
low
That's a
good
dollar
point.
sales this week. It's crazy. I got like 5-6 sales going out that are under $10. It's not good.
Why?
Not good. They're just
Why
old
even
stuff
selling
that's been
that
listed
stuff?
forever.
Yeah,
at
why-
I would
discount.
never sell something for less than $2,
Well, yeah. Why don't you just throw
except
that
for every
away?
day.
Well, a lot of them were just mass multi-quantity things that you buy and you list them for $10 because there's 50 of them, and
Yeah.
they're selling. So I'll take it. I'll take it. Cool. And there's some nice
Well-
sales too. Vintage brass and cast iron metal insects. I think I got this from Death Pile in his Death
In
Pile.
what, Kevin?
Ashtray or trinket boxes.
You said
Brass.
wait. You said vintage brass metal in what?
Insects.
In
Shut
what?
So he's got like.
Not happening.
Carrie got it. Carrie got there.
I
It took
get
him a
it.
minute.
It took me a minute. It did take me a minute. I was like, what are you having trouble with?
25,000 views on the Dibbed It Threads video. So that's good. On Facebook. On
25,000
Facebook.
views. That's good.
Yeah, that's not
The
bad.
growth. So I was
So
going to
that's
give
what-
Rod all the credit for growth on Dibbed
You'll
It
get at
today,
least
but
20,000 of
Dave is
those
gonna
people
somehow
joining
take
from
it.
that, I bet.
Yeah, I'm hoping 20,000 people join Dibbed It Threads because of that. Cricker Stuff said, is Kevin ever going to put the fancy trailer to use, or is he hiding dead bodies in there?
Well, I'll tell you what. I would have used it. I would have used it very, very.
It's weird that you
soon.
didn't take it to Nashville.
The problem is that right now it's full of Death Pile Pickers mass quantity that he dumped off on me. That I'm.
Are you ready to admit
making
it was
a
a
lot
dumb
of money
buy?
on.
Or not? We're
Yeah.
not there yet.
No.
How many
Getting
years
there,
till
though.
we admit that it's a dumb buy?
Because it just seems
Well,
like a very
first of all-
expensive piece of storage. Like you could have got a
You
storage
tried to
unit.
get me and Carrie to pay for it too, and we're like, no.
Did I?
He was trying. Yeah, you were trying to get us to pay for a little bit of it. You're like,
Well,
hey,
you
Dave,
know
buy
what
a piece of the
happened,
trailer.
right?
I said, I already bought a piece of the shed, and I got nothing.
Yeah,
I paid
nothing.
for half of the trailer. Just
Yeah.
saying, I paid for half of the trailer.
Okay.
Somebody else sponsored it.
Mike, Death Pile Picker did.
No, although he did a lot of the extra work and stuff.
What was
for
it?
Oh.
Who did it? Who was the other half?
American
Hut?
Supply
Bubble
Bubbles.
Oh,
Code Commonwealth. Go get your 3-inch tape.
oh, the bubble.
Code
American
ADH
Bubble Boys,
Dave
sorry.
probably isn't a code. I don't know.
Shouldn't be.
One of these days I'll get a code for the place I like.
I sold
but they don't have any
Jesus.
codes yet. Okay, me too. Actually, I got $4 for him on Dibbed It.
Oh, I was at a sale that was just
Code
really,
arbitrage. AdamandEve.com.
one sale. One sale I
Free
went to
toy
yesterday.
with purchase.
Free.
I like how Carrie got muted at that exact moment. What, Kevin?
That's all right.
One sale I went to had Bibles for sale, $5, $10, $15 for a Bible. The very next sale we go to has all the Bibles are free because we can't sell them. We can't sell them. That was pretty funny.
Well,
I'm
okay,
like,
so
I just
Elijah
bought
got his
3
license,
from
Kevin.
them.
Elijah got his license. So you've been
Mm-hmm.
through this. Like, were you stressed when Bubba started driving alone?
Considering he got in an accident within weeks of it, yeah. He
Did he
drives
really bad
way
one?
too. He's like his mom. He drives
A
way
bad
too
one,
fast.
or?
Yeah, totaled the car. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Oh my gosh, thanks. That's helpful, Kevin. That's
Yeah,
helpful.
that
I'm
made it
having a
worse.
lot of anxiety about this. Like, you're yelling at me for telling Carrie about a caterpillar.
And then I also told Dave that I got in an accident my first week with my car,
Yeah.
second week with my
Guys are
car. Go
awesome.
figure.
Yeah. Well, like, it's just so weird because he's like, okay, I'm going to go to the beach. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. And he just leaves, and I'm just like, this is weird. He took Annabelle with him because, you know, she wants to go to the beach too. And I'm just like, 2 of my kids are not in my house. They're not, like, they're just not home. It's so weird. It's so weird. It is. But let me tell you about insurance. Can I tell you? This is an interesting conversation. Money. You know, it's a money thing. This is a money show.
Yeah,
I think we
it's
should
a
do a
money
whole show about
podcast.
finance. I love the taxes process.
Yeah, I
So
did the whole process
basically-
of it.
Basically, I get my quote back. So what I've been paying is a lot because Tina got in an accident and I got in an accident. My accident was just like I was on my phone, and so I did like a little fender bender, and no one got hurt. But that was like a year and a half ago or whatever. And then Tina's was worse because there was like a motorcycle. No one went to the hospital, but the guy did fall off his motorcycle. But he was like, "Oh, I'm fine." He might have been on meth. I don't know because he was just like, "Yeah, I'm doing good."
Florida.
I was like, "How are you
Florida.
good? You just flew off your motorcycle, but okay." And but either way. That made our rate go up substantially, right? So we last year paid $4,000 for a year in insurance. Kev, what are you paying a year for insurance for your autos? Are you willing to share? Is
For
that private?
everything and everybody
Yeah.
and all this stuff because we got it. And I got to insure that trailer and different.
Is Bubba on it?
No, he's not. He pays for his
Okay.
own insurance. 200 and something, right there.
month.
Like 200 and something. Yeah.
A month.
You know what? That's a great question. That might be for the quarter. I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm paying on the insurance. It's all automated. I haven't looked in years. So I don't know. Sorry.
Scrooge
Hashtag
McDuck
blessed.
doesn't know what he's paying on his bills.
That's weird because he's
No.
so like you should be changing insurance all the time. You'll
automated.
save money.
Really?
Yeah, but you save money by
I
switching
haven't
providers.
changed
Yes.
insurance since I got insurance when I
Yeah,
was
he's
16.
still got
I
a
paid for
Pony
my own
Express,
insurance.
whatever
It's
they
still
have.
the same exact count from 16
Dude,
years
you
old.
might be able to pay half what you're paying if you do some browsing.
I
They
really
probably
don't
allow
think
him to pay in.
You're yelling
They
at me
probably
for
allow
wasting
him
a
to pay in
9-cent
wooden
poly
nickels
mailer.
and stuff.
Well, listen, I own
Kevin
my
yells
cars.
at me for wasting a poly mailer.
I own my cars, and they have full. They don't have full coverage because I don't. You don't.
Yeah, but if
need
you're
it. I can
paying $200 a
self-insure.
month,
It's
if
not
it is
$200
$200
a month. That's the quarterly.
Okay.
It's the quarterly.
Okay,
it's
so
220
200, so
something, and
$800
it
a
gets
year.
paid quarterly. So 800 a year.
Mine's $4,000 a year. $4,000 a year. Okay.
Okay.
And so I told my guy I gotta add Elijah. He sends me back a quote. He's like, "Here's the 6-month quote. $10,700
Dude,
for 6 months."
And you're giving me insurance advice?
Well, obviously, I had to shop around after I got that news. Chill.
Yeah.
So, but I
don't
did.
have
I shopped
to,
around.
Is my point because I've already
And
got the best deal.
It was very stressful, but I spent all day shopping around, and like, it's one of those things where, like, I think I was telling Carrie this. It's like you're being tortured all day, and then they start pulling off your fingernails. You're like, well, at least it's only my fingernails they're ripping off violently, right? Like, that's kind of where I got to with the insurance cost, because by the time I got the quote for $4,600 for 6 months, I was like, yay!
Only double what I was paying before.
Dave went out and spent $5,000 that day.
I had to. I literally had to pay $5,000 for insurance.
Yeah.
That's for
crazy.
the 6
I
months.
have never,
just for 6
knock
months.
on wood. Well, that's not true. I did get in one accident, but it was a weird one. I've never really been in a car accident. The only accident I was in was it just started snowing, and I slowed down on a hill, and I was in the slowest car accident of all time. My car was literally just slowly sliding down a hill
I've
for about
been
30
there.
seconds,
Yep.
and it went off the
And you
road.
can't stop it.
And it went off the road, and it almost didn't tip over, and I'm like, leaning to the other side of the car, and then boop, it tipped over. That was my car
Mine
accident.
didn't tip over. Mine started doing that, and I was spinning in circles on the road,
I was
like
going
trying
way
to
too slow
counter
to do
steer,
that.
and
Yeah.
eventually it just stopped. There was no cars, luckily. Everyone was too smart to be out.
I think I've blown 2, maybe 3 engines due to not putting oil in my car.
This is not
Okay.
true. What's wrong with Dawn? Dawn should be taking
Hashtag
care of
no,
that.
Things
Dawn,
shouldn't be
Dawn
admitted.
and my dad are supposed to take care of that.
Okay,
It's better
so-
now, but I think. I don't know. I haven't done it, but I'm assuming it's getting done.
Well, so the moral of my story was, guys,
I
when your
actually
kids
do
turn
notice when it's
16
bad now.
and get their license.
Make 'em
your
pay
insurance
for
is
their
gonna go
insurance.
way free. He can't pay friggin' double
he could if
4,000
he
in
had
6
to.
months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's got to
I
put.
guess
He's
so.
got to pump
I
out
paid for my
50
insurance.
Commonwealth
The
Picker
problem-
videos a
I
day.
will say,
For my
I will say
insurance.
this: the problem is I could not get a quote from anyone until he had his license, and once he has his license, you have to insure him, and so now I have to pay it even if he can't afford it. So it's
Just
kind
don't
of
give him a
a chicken and
license.
egg.
I'm
he,
from the
he
old
was
school, y'all.
having
I'm
trouble
sorry, I
getting a
can't.
job because we were taking him places. They wanted to know if he had his own mode of
Yeah,
transportation.
yeah.
So
And
it's
could've-
you know,
Okay, I hear you.
it's the world we live in.
I know.
Dude, it's a different time. I got my first job at Burger King because I went to that Burger King all the time with my dad, and they just gave me a job because I was always there anyway.
Well, I remember
The
when-
reason I asked that was because Quirky Picker Chad said, out of the three of you, which has the most speeding tickets?
I
Has had the most speeding tickets.
I've had 2.
You've had 2. And I thought this was funny because Carrie was just talking about this. I won't out you, Carrie. I won't tell him. It's up to you if you want to say it.
No, I mean
He's had
have
tickets
you-
from going too slow.
I've never had. People are going to be surprised that I haven't had a ticket
They
in the
are?
last 6 years, but but between
Speeding?
6. No, I haven't had any tickets for like the last 6 or 7 years. But before that, from the age of 16 to 35, I had 19.
Were any of them speeding?
I'm sure a few were.
Really?
I once almost got a DUI, and I don't drink. I'm not even joking.
I've
I
almost
got
gotten
out of the
DUI
car.
too.
I got out of the car. I got out of the
Speeding
car, and
does.
the cop was like, "Yeah, we had a complaint about your driving," and I'm like, "Okay." And
I'm just bad at driving,
at that
officer, I'm
time,
sorry.
full disclosure, I was taking Lexapro for anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently that could make you drive erratically. I guess I didn't know. I was flabbergasted because I've never been in trouble in my life, and I'm like, "Well, what are you gonna do? Give me a D? I'm not doing anything wrong." And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to, but be careful." But it made me nervous, so I learned something that day.
He learned how to drive really slow. Dave,
Yeah.
I left here one time, and I was maybe 4 miles away from my house, and they were 2 miles behind me in those 4 miles.
Well,
Yeah.
they
So
Probably
he's
stopped
learned
to
his
poop.
lesson, cops out there. He does not speed anymore. He's
No,
safe.
he does not speak.
I drove
But
with
Don
him. He
usually
drove me around
drives now.
Vegas,
Don usually
and
drives now.
I honestly, I'm way better driver than I used to be. Also think it's different driving in Vegas and driving in Utah. In Utah, people, like, they're bored. In Vegas, they're like driving from like a murder to another murder. So they're not worried about me.
Carrie, can we revisit something
end
you
of
said
circus
that
to the
kind
other.
of slipped by me? But
From one parking lot to the front lot. To the
when you said this has slipped by me, but my brain has processed it a little later. My brain does that sometimes. You said you now can tell. You kind of can tell. You can sense when the car needs an oil change. What does that mean? You can tell. How do you tell it needs an oil change? Like what? I know the correct answer, but I want to know.
Yeah, you
I wanna
take
know
out
your
the
answer.
spigot and you lick it, and if it tastes burnt, then you need a new oil. You need more oil.
So this was kind of my question. Are you going by the color of the oil? Or are you going by the miles?
No, just
you
like
drive?
when your car starts to chug a little bit, when you start to get a rattle that makes you uncomfortable.
Can I tell you a little secret about oil changes? There's just a set number of miles, and you just change it
No,
that
but dude,
number of miles.
You're talking to the guy who knew the exact amount of time he could drive on empty to get home. I knew.
Yeah.
I had
Listen,
like
I don't
30
obey it.
to 45 miles.
They always put like 3,000 miles between the oil changes. I usually
That's a
go by what
racket,
the
first
manual.
off.
Yeah, I go by
Yeah,
what the
don't
manual
listen to
says,
what they
which is
say.
like, sometimes like 5 to 10,000 depending on the car.
Right,
But you look
it's
at the
made in
manual for the
eBay
car.
sale.
I'm always driving a Honda, so you can put an additional 5 to
But
10,000 miles before.
My point
anything
is, if you
happens.
just like look at the mileage after they change the oil, then you can, 7,000 miles.
Where
later
can
or
I
whatever,
track that?
It's on. You have an odometer?
Can I shout out some folks at an hour and 10 minutes into this stupid podcast?
I can't do it.
I'm just y'all. Can I mute you guys?
Do you know
How
what
do
an
I do that?
odometer is?
Yeah, dude, that's like that's like on your oven, right?
Shout out to
I know what
Ray
an
at the
odometer
Nashville
is. I'm playing
Flippers.
stupid. Come on,
shout
man.
out
for an
I'm a
amazing
world-class actor. I got 5th place
It was
in the
ahead, Kevin.
Shakespeare
See
Festival.
A lot
Kevin,
of
how many
folks
can you
in
get? How many
Nashville.
can you
It was
get?
amazing.
How many can you get? How many can you get of our Wealthy as a Kevin tier members? Go.
Oh, none.
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 You don't respect any of them enough. To
You don't know.
names.
Logan
Can you
Murphy,
name any of the people you met
Logan
this
Murphy?
weekend
Okay.
at Nashville?
Dawn, Lady Arbitrage.
Yep.
Yeah, she's there.
It used to be Harry Tornado.
Yeah, he's no longer. He gave up.
He hates us now.
Paul'sMerch.com.
Yep. Yep.
Is Fines one?
No.
No,
It's not a person.
Great
Okay.
member of the Diptic community, though.
Is Bodega Fines?
I don't.
don't
I
think
think
so
she is
either.
a
I
member,
just
but not
like
at the
her.
Kevin level.
No, can we have to bleep him out if he accidentally gives them a shout out?
Ray's
correct?
Heck Resell,
Ray's Heck
Paul'sMerch.com,
Resell,
Vintage
Paul'sMerch.com.
Sports Flips,
Keith,
Mike
I forgot
Camporelli,
Keith. That's,
Brian
Mike Camporelli.
Sampour-Beal.
Shout out Mike. That was awesome.
No Nose
Yeah, Keith.
Pickers, CJ Benz
No Nose
Finds,
Picker.
Alexandria Pickers, Buffing the
CJ
Stuff,
Benz
Gem
Finds.
Flipper, the
Oh,
real
hey.
NC Picker, Picks
CJ
by
Benz
Tyler.
Fines gave me some pineapple Jack Daniels. Thank you for that.
Vincent
Shout out.
Street Market. Thank you
I
for your
also got a
support,
belt
everyone.
buckle
Tommy-
that I
Tommy
have
Bernard
not opened
podcast.
yet,
Thank
and
you.
I gotta open that.
All right, Kevin, you got the mic. 5 minutes. Go. You clearly have a lot to say.
5 minutes? I don't need 5 minutes. I just want to say
Uninterrupted.
thank you.
Filibuster,
to
go.
Ray Nashville Flippers. And listen, Ray Nashville Flippers can pull a bigger audience than Dave can. That I can tell.
To be
already.
fair, we charged like $250.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It was a
We
free
charged
event.
nothing.
Free event.
His was
That's
free.
Costs a lot of money because
Yeah.
you got to pay for all the stuff, But it was an awesome event. I had a lot of time to talk to people, which is really cool. Dave avoids that. He doesn't want to do that. So at his event, there's always something to do.
Kevin,
So you don't sit down and talk.
listen, you guys kind of tricked me into thinking that was bad of me, but the more and more I talk to people and accidentally offend them, the more I think it's good I don't
agree.
talk to people.
I agree.
I
But
think
you
I should be just
you
hidden in the
should-
closet.
The next event we have, which I think should be a long time from now, should be a Dibbed
Yes.
It Trash to Cash event because I've met so many good people over there on Dibbed It.
Yeah.
But
Dibbed It
I
Con?
think- I think, yeah. Ooh, that's good. So
Did
I
Con.
think we should.
And we could all sign autographs and charge.
We should have it a part of that event just
And
be,
just we
you
could
know,
do all the
chill.
sad videos because nobody's in
Hang
line to
out,
get our
talk,
autographs.
and then Dave shouldn't be there for that part of the event.
No, and
And then I
Armin
don't have to
Shimmerman
go. Yeah.
can show up.
Oh yeah, let's get dude, let's get
Quark from
let's-
Star Trek.
Yeah,
is
let's
here.
get let's get people from Boy Meets World, but not like the main cast,
I
like that
wasn't
one
done
nerdy kid who was in the
thanking
first
people.
season.
Ray and all his
Minkus.
crew,
Let's get
his beautiful
Minkus.
wife, everybody, they were just wonderful. It was a great event, and it was nice to see.
Call it
I met
Minkus
people-
Con instead of Dibbed It Con.
I met people that Carrie told me I'm not allowed to like, and I liked them. So that
Really?
was
You
good too.
actually
Wait, you liked him?
met New
Yeah.
Jersey Picker? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've told you not to like him.
Remember the New Jersey Picker? Remember the Facebook group? We got another complaint about Chris's moderation over there. They think he's too strict.
That's good.
But that's okay. Too strict is better than not strict enough.
He does a
that's
great
the way
job.
I look at it.
I was over there commenting and reading comments the other day. I like that group,
Yeah.
and so he's doing a good job.
Trash to
like
cash
He's
on
doing
Facebook, guys.
wonderful.
Go over
I did
there.
not say that about you, Chris.
He didn't say. He said it about some other Chris named New Jersey Plicker.
A
It's a little different. Had an L in it.
Yeah, Plicker.
No, seriously, I
Different
did meet
person.
some people that I really.
Dude, no, Kevin. Just let's
didn't
hear
know.
it. We want to hear
Come
all
on.
about Ben.
Tell the dirt. What happened?
Kevin
Ben,
met
tell us about
I
Ben
Ben.
took
from
a
the
picture.
reseller
Yeah.
locker room.
My goal,
podcast.
my goal going there. A few things.
There's a
but one of
bromance.
them-
There's a bromance blooming between.
I
these
wanted
Did you
to
guys,
do-
when you guys locked eyes and then you both saw the bedazzling on your jeans, were you temporarily blinded?
Did your bracelets make your arms go aflutter?
I mean, he does. He makes Brett Michaels. I mean, I could see the compare Brett Michaels.
yeah,
I could
it's
see it.
Commonwealth Picker number 2.0.
Yeah.
He's Cool Kevin. So tell us about meeting Cool Kevin.
Wait a
Ernest
minute, I
meets
didn't
Brett
even get
Michaels. Let's go.
to my goals. I wanted to meet people that you don't know. The Swamp Picker. I got to meet him in Silverhair.
That's a person, the Swamp Picker.
5 or 6 other
Yeah.
folks.
Is there
that
a
I wanted
person
to meet
named the
that I've
Swamp
never
Picker?
met before.
Yes.
Glenn.
Okay.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah,
you should
Glenn.
know that. You're
You
OG
should know
enough,
that.
and you should be in those
The
chats.
Swamp Picker.
I keep telling Carrie
There's
he
just
should
a
know
lot
this.
of good folks that I never had met.
You don't know who the Swamp Picker is. Stop it.
I really like the.
I mean,
Joe
I'm
Philly
gonna
Picker.
go look. I'm gonna go look you up now, and I don't want to be rude. I want to know who you are. I just didn't know you were a picker.
Joe the Philly
cool,
Picker
dude.
is great on the. I
Paul
love
was
this
there.
show.
And he
Philly
was
Flicker?
not. Yeah, Paul was awesome. I had a good time with Paul.
We'll get to Joe Philly Picker after Kevin finishes his long tirade. Here, go.
No, it's not a tirade. I just had a good time. Mike Mecca, all the guys were there. You know, all the old friends were there, and then all the new ones were there.
Are you going to mention any of the stuff you told us behind closed doors?
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not do any of that. Are you serious?
So that's a no. That's a no. That's a no.
I did
Kevin
send a
doesn't
picture.
talk to
I
us
wanted a
behind
picture.
closed
I'm
to
just kidding. He
send
doesn't talk to us much anymore,
with,
guys. We're joking.
with Cool Kevin. We did that. That was good.
I thought that was cool. Yeah.
And the beers were
So, how
everywhere,
much
flying.
recreational drugs were being used?
Yeah. Scale 1 to
I
Specific-
10.
didn't see any.
Quantities.
Although Ken, he was a little. I saw him
Yeah.
a little bit. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
there's-
kidding.
He seemed
No,
a little bit.
he had a
Yeah,
great
he's
crew
been on.
around
He's
him,
been on a
including
couple.
Ken.
Darkness retreats on ayahuasca
Allegedly.
or whatever. Allegedly. There's nothing wrong with that. You learn a lot about yourself on shrooms.
Can we talk about Philly Picker for a minute?
Sure.
He's kind of
Allegedly,
taken a new.
Ken,
he's
you
taken
didn't
a
do
new
that. We
role
know.
in the Reseller Leftovers podcast.
Yeah,
Where
it's good,
basically
it's
he
good.
just gives Dan and Demand a hard time for not selling on Dibdit more, even though Joe doesn't sell on Dibdit. Like every time Mike talks about Dibdit, Joe will be like, "I keep telling him that, Mike. I keep telling him that. I keep telling him that about Dibdit." And then Dan's like, "Joe, you don't even sell on Dibdit." That's my Dan and Demand impression.
That's a
Was
pretty
that
good impression right there.
My feet hurt, Joe.
One thing that was interesting, all the podcasts were recruiting Jimmy because Jimmy was, he's kind of unemployed.
He's a free
He's
agent. He's a
podcaster
free
right
agent.
now, although he's kind of loosely affiliated
available.
with reseller.
He's a free agent. He's a good person to add if you want your podcast
so
to
he
disassemble
would bring
shortly
the
after.
offers to me. He's like,
Allegedly.
should I take this one
I
or
love
this
Jimmy.
one or this one?
I
I'm like,
feel
who's
bad
going to
now.
give you the most money?
have
I love
nothing to do
Jimmy.
with
I
what's
shouldn't have-
happening. Whatever's happening
What did
down
you
here,
say?
I
I
have
just
nothing
feel
to do
bad
with
because
it.
that came out aggressive. I love
did you
Jimmy.
say?
It sounded
About
horrible,
Jimmy?
but
It sounded bad. I'm just saying Jimmy's been on a lot of podcasts that have disassembled.
Oh, that's
just
funny.
something I've noticed.
Okay, so on the leftover, on the locker room, Joe, they said, "What are your expectations
I love
of the
Jimmy.
podcast?"
Everyone
And
knows
Joe's
that. I love
answer-
Jimmy.
Joe's answer to the question, "What are your expectations to the podcast, or what are your goals, or whatever?" And Joe says, "I'm just trying to keep it together. That's it." That was his goal. He's like, I
he just
just
doesn't
try
want
to make
anyone to leave it
sure
anymore.
that it doesn't end again.
Exactly. Stay together for the kids.
it is hard to keep a podcast together. We have to wrangle Kevin in like once a month and be like, "Kevin, don't leave the show. Don't leave the show." He's always talking about how we, make him look bad. I don't know. That doesn't sound right, but maybe it's happening.
Yeah.
What do you think,
Yeah,
bro? We got new reviews on iTunes. That's
Ooh, I
rare.
wanna see it. Man, these sales are low.
Coops flip.
Listen though, Carrie.
Coops.
Listen.
Okay.
The phone is back by the computer, and I have had 3 sales. Just saying.
Coops flip said, "Great podcast." After
Bring the
listening
computer
to
with you.
Let's see. Well,
After listening to
I don't know if
several
that works.
episodes, one thing became obvious to me. Carrie is the brains behind this operation. His insight and keen business sense is a blueprint for all resellers to follow.
Thank you.
Too bad
Thank
his nuggets
you.
of wisdom sometimes gets lost in the senseless babble of the
Yes.
other 2 clowns on the show.
Yes.
Carrie's
a
all
minute.
Thank
account,
you.
Coops flips.
Coops.
Carrie
Thank
wrote
you.
that. Carrie wrote that.
No. No,
Do you-
that's
wait,
true.
Down south.
Carrie, the person speaking right now to this person, because they only hear it, they don't know the face. Carrie, you speak. Just say something.
Maybe they don't know it's him. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know it's him.
Here he goes. Ready, set, go.
What it is.
Hello. I'm the one laughing.
That's Carrie, guys. That's Carrie.
That's
That
Carrie.
one's Carrie. Not
That's
the one you're
Carrie.
hearing now. That's Dave. That's the wise one, Dave.
Which one?
Actually,
Do it again.
I
Let's just keep
like
going.
to
Get
like
the
the
podcast.
obnoxious
Maybe
one.
they get the sarcasm. That's
Yeah, the
good.
sarcasm comment. That was Carrie.
$7.
Okay, so
I sold
quitting
some
my
for
job.
$4.89.
Wait, Kevin, I'm not done.
Ooh.
Why do you want to take over constantly?
We should
Goodness
do. We
gracious.
should do.
We're gonna have to
we should do
move him
phone
over
calls.
to my spot here. Hold on, I'm gonna move
No.
him.
We should do phone calls like a
Thank you,
dating
buddy.
show, or like where people ask about their life and we give tips.
Hey, that's the next
Dude, I love
Dibdit
the call-in
meetup. Just
show.
trash to cash Dibdit singles only.
Let's try it right now. Let's try a
Who's
call-in
this?
show.
Who's
Who should
single
we
and
call?
dibbed it that owns it? Are we just?
should
Are
we
we doing
call?
a? Oh, are we
Ben
doing a
call-in
dating
show.
Dibdits? Oh yeah,
we
Ben
need to
is. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to hook him up and yeah.
There's a
just get all
guy-
the singles and match him up with other resellers.
We call my old
Charge
boss.
a fee. Charge a fee.
We call Mr. Beast. I have his number.
Mm-hmm.
I have Marcus Brownlee's number. We could call him. Do you know him? The MKBHD on YouTube. I
Yeah,
have his
he's
number.
the does all the.
I don't
tech
think he'd
reviews.
appreciate it if I called him and just had
Well,
him on the
I
show.
missed out on.
Imagine
I wanna go
Carrie
see-
getting a famous person on our show. That'd be cool.
I want to go see Mike
Dude,
Wolf. The last
Apparently
day at
Monday
the
I'm
shop
supposed to hear,
Saturday.
but we'll see. I'm hoping.
Kevin,
Fingers
Mike
crossed.
Wolf.
Gary V?
Okay, Mike.
Everybody
don't get
go
Kevin all
message
excited.
Gary
don't
V.
get, dude. Kevin's
Say,
desk
we're
just
tired
raised.
of the
I saw
slow
it.
roll. Just do it. Just do it. What?
Nothing. So me and Carrie were driving around my van, and Carrie starts going, "What were you saying? You were pretending to be Frank Fritz?"
I'm like,
The only big van.
was that like
That's
I'm
oil can.
messaging you from the grave or what I said? Was that what
No,
I
you
was
said
doing?
like, "There's an old man. Let's go rip him off and buy his signs and dig through his barn."
Oh yeah,
Some
yeah.
crap like that.
And then I asked, yeah.
Yeah. You
that's
asked
what I
Jeeves
did.
something? Did you say you asked Jeeves something? Well, we
That's
figured it
good,
out. So he's Frank. I'm Mike because I'm driving it. And then Dawn is Danny, the one with all the tattoos. The problem is that I'm too fat to be Mike and short. So I got to work on that. But I'm gonna get some stilts and I'm going to get lipo. It'll be fine. Do you think lipo's the way? I think that's probably the way. Okay, the other iTunes review is from Down South
Shout out
Resells.
Mimi too. I forgot. Shout out Mimi. She's
And it
awesome.
said, quitting my job.
Oh, well, shout out
It
Mimi,
said-
but why? Was she at the thing in
yeah,
Nashville?
she had good.
Oh, I didn't even know. That's awesome.
She's awesome.
said-
She's a pretty smart girl. Anyway,
We love
It says-
Mimi.
This show sucks. It says,
not
I
good.
have learned so much about reselling from this podcast that I'm
you.
taking the big step and quitting my job. I just purchased a storage container filled floor to ceiling with Tupperware lids. It's a big break I was looking for. Wish me luck.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
You don't need luck when you got Tupperware.
Yeah, you got that many
Yeah.
Tupperware lids. You Gucci.
You're
Yeah,
fine.
you
You're
pay
fine.
your mortgage
Here's the key. See if you can
once.
rent out that storage unit that you just bought all the stuff and just, put a mattress in there and then you could just stay there. It'll be cheap.
Sublease the storage.
Sublease it. Exactly.
Shit, yeah.
Carrie, I missed that site that would like tell us how we ranked in the Philippines and stuff.
Oh, I'm hot in the
I think it's
Philippines,
gone.
so-
I think it went away, dude.
Yeah, I think that site is gone now. It's a little depressing. Kevin, did you hear about the YouTube prankster that might be going to jail in the Philippines?
No.
Yeah, because
me
he
all
was
about
like
it.
pranking and they didn't appreciate it, and so he seems like kind of a douche canoe, I think is the term. So
Yeah.
I think it's fine, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. He might go to jail for 25 years. So maybe stop with the pranks is what I'm getting to. Also, you don't need sunglasses at night. You just don't. I don't know
why
why
do
you're
you
doing it.
always wear sunglasses on top of your hat? And I've never once seen you wear sunglasses, like on your face, I don't think. Oh, see that?
wow.
Oh my god.
No, that's why he doesn't wear them. That's why he doesn't
Super-
wear them right there.
Super douche.
You guys
I don't think I've ever seen you
Can I
wear them.
tell
That's
you
the funniest
why
part.
when I was in college, I played college ball,
Yeah.
and I'm not a big guy, and so they had big dudes on the team, and they'd have these hats, and the hats were just big. I looked like Marvin the Martian, man, and Marvin yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And so to
You
make
went
it look
to college
less
in the 60s, we
ridiculous
get it.
Is I would put the hat on. I would put the hat on. No, who's the Martian in the Flintstones? Who's that guy? What's that guy's name?
That's Quark.
Come on. No.
This is Quirk.
Look
Armin,
up the. Oh, okay. I thought you were trying
Armin
to show
Shimmerman.
me.
This is Armin Shimmerman.
And so I'd put that.
He's gonna be at the
glasses
Dib
on
meetup,
my head
guys.
to make
DibDibCon.
it look
Dude, if we
less
could get
ridiculous.
Armin Shimmerman
We're getting
to
Armin
DibDibCon.
to DibDibCon. He's coming.
I want
Get Gary
3 to
Vee.
4
I want Armin.
I want 3 to 4 Z-list celebrities there.
Yeah.
Mike was well, he wasn't a Z-lister. He was a D-lister. There's a lot of people. That
Yeah, I
like
want
Mike.
I want
was
at least
surprised.
one cast member from Surf Ninjas. At least one. Whichever one was surfing.
So what's the deal with Mike Metco meetups? Did you talk to him about his
how's he doing?
YouTube channel at all?
Yeah.
Is he gonna do a
filmed
video
him. He'll
about
be
the
on
event?
A video with me on on Flipper. I videoed a few people, and I'm gonna put them on a future.
Was he
Flipper video.
recording video though?
Yeah, he was recording a little bit. He went live one time, I think, and
Mike
it
puts
was
out a
good
lot of
fun
content,
event.
man. Mike pushes it. He's really into it. I'm proud of him.
Lots of picking too. I didn't go to the bins. I was too tired. I'm like, I can't get the content done and talk to people and do all the stuff. I couldn't do it. I'm like, I'm gonna not go to the bins. That was my decision.
You know
So
what's
I
cool?
missed
I
that
think
part
it's
of the
cool.
event.
I think this is cool. Cool, warm, heartfelt moment here. There's a lot of people on Dibdit selling and that are like disabled to the point where they're
Yes.
not able to get a job, and like they're
it's
maybe
my
in a
favorite
wheelchair,
part of
stuff like
Dibdit so
that.
far.
That's really cool. Is
And I
that there's
don't wanna-
several people who are like having great success over there through a hardship, through a hard time where they can't go to a traditional job. So I thought that was kind of neat. There's
there
like
are.
4 or 5 people just killing it over there in that kind of scenario.
Especially if
Pretty
Dawn's in the chat, because Dawn is like a mama bear and she wants to hug all the
Yeah.
people, and she'll buy from them.
Mama Bear
let me
Resale,
tell ya,
great seller
and
over
some
on
of them
Polish
are
and Brush.
Good,
Yeah.
good
is.
personalities.
Oh yeah, a lot of them are.
And there's
The vast
some-
majority of shows are entertaining over there.
yeah, except for Carrie's.
Well, he just gets all emo because he's not making
Not in the
thousands
card shows.
of
His card
profit.
shows are good. I mean, I enjoy watching Carrie. I like Carrie's personality when he's doing cards better.
It's because it's his happy place. It's his happy place.
he just seems.
I just don't like his polish and brush shows when he's on there selling makeup. He just doesn't seem like he's
Yeah,
there.
you don't appreciate. I feel like you are always criticizing how I'm using the eyeliner,
Hey,
the
that's
amount
a
of
good
blush
point,
and
though.
rouge I'm using.
Yeah.
That's a good point. The people. Okay, so Lehigh Valley Trash Panda. Y'all know him, right?
Yeah, he's going
He
live
sells LPs,
Tuesday.
and he gets better money than almost anybody. Like if I sold LPs, it's like whatever, and I can make a little bit.
No,
of
he's
money.
got an audience.
But he
LP
loves
audience.
LPs, and he's knowledgeable about LPs, and he sells quality ones, and he does better. If you
like-
love what you're selling, just like Dawn on Antiquity,
Yeah.
if you love what you're selling, you're going to do better. So
Dave
the
can
niche
sell
down
Boyd's
effect.
Bears, like, because he's just like, look at how cute these are, and he's just like, and you're like, oh my
You sell
gosh.
Boys Bears. I like
It's
Boys
a-
Bear. They're cute.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like, but for real, like you
popcorn
like them, and that shows. You do better if you're passionate about anything in life. You know?
Like Granny
You-
Squares. I sold the heck out of Granny Squares.
Dude, I just
bought the
edited a
biggest
video
Granny
where I
Square
bought a
ever in
Granny
my life
Square.
this week. Yeah.
Oh, really? How big? Did you measure it yet?
It was
Like
it
11
was
by 9 or
like I don't even know because I picked it up and it was like super heavy. Like I think it's like a California King Granny Square. That's how big it is. I think it's huge.
I think I got one that was like an 11 by 9. I sent you a picture of it. It was enormous. It was massive, and I did pretty good with it on. I think I sold it on Dibdit. I don't remember.
Have you ever been to a yard sale where everything after it that day makes you not want to buy anything because it was so amazingly cheap and good? It's like everything from there is downhill. That's how I felt the other day after that one sale because everything was $1. I think Kristen bought a seersucker polo pair of pants with tags on it for $1. Everything was $1.
Wow.
Hundreds of dollars. It was good. It was impressive.
When you get to those yard sales, you have to really relish it. You got to get as much as you can, get as much footage in our case
There
as
was
you can.
4 of us at this sale, and we are all. And I
No,
think
that's why
Angie
you
made
tell
up-
people, hey, look, over on that side of the yard
You get
sale, there's some
31
great deals,
bags.
and then you get what you want right in front
Angie
of you.
got a tote full of brand new in the package 31 bags.
Ooh,
And that
I
was
sold some of
part
those
of what
on
she got for, like,
Dibdit
20
Threads.
bucks.
I sold some of those on Dibdit Threads the other day.
Crazy.
Is 31 bags like a good brand? I haven't.
31 is
Yeah, it's
Vaguely
decent. It's
heard
like
of
an
them.
MLM.
It's
It's an
okay.
MLM.
It's okay.
It's
It's
all
like
right.
a step
They get like 15 to
below
20 bucks a piece.
Vera Bradley, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Maybe right at it. Depending
Maybe
on what
around
it is, there's
around
all
the
kinds of
same as
different-
Vera, I would
Yeah.
say.
Well,
Around
new,
the
they
same.
might do better.
So I think they're around the same price wise, but less demand than Vera. So
Yeah,
you know.
that's probably right.
Yeah.
Less
So
demand.
I think that a lot of people do make that mistake of like they're at a good yard sale, but they got the FOMO for all the other yard sales on their list that they leave before they really spend the time to find all the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, between
When
the
you're
four of
at a
us, we
good
got
one,
most of it.
It's the same with like, I know you guys don't like sports cards, but if I am at a card show and I find a good table, you're better off spending time at a good table than trying to hit everything. If you have something good in front of you when you're picking, pick it and pick it well.
I was distracted by the coffee mugs. I was walking away from them, but there were Starbucks coffee mugs. I was walking away, and Kristen pulled me back into the coffee mug bin because there was tons of Starbucks in there for $1. And then she skipped right behind me and went to the ridiculously amazing clothing racks.